Who's got the rocket launcher? I say we blow it up. Now fire that thing.
It's for the city of sports, playing with a giant Nick. With my man S. Guard.
That's him.
You feel the vibe?
That's me.
We going live.
That's us.
That like button shared, you been subscribed.
Stadium.
That MetLife, Big Blue, home of the Braves.
Yeah.
That turnpike, you can see that's where the game's played. NFL one day, then it's the NBA. Madison Square Garden, that's where the Knicks play. This that NY Logan, North don't get broken. Legalized mean this shit smoking. I'm on topic, dropping another episode. The game winner, trade, maybe a field goal. Everybody right now doing the wave. You tune in the show called TheMan-Cave. I see the chat, they always doing their thing. Big views, 85-inch screen. The game's on, you rush and bleed. Stay calm, you on the road and chill. To the watch along, the show's on. The host, you know it's S-Guard. It's no telling the panel filled with guest stars. You're now rocking with the voice, you know what it is. It's your boy J Boogie. You're now rocking with my man S-Guard. I support him to the fullest, you heard? My man Mike Blaze. This is Alter Production. What that mean? We about to alter everything that's playing. Tune in. My man S.God. Support the show. Subscribe, share it. Most importantly, hit that like button.
Yo, what's good? What's good? Salute, man. Salute to the orange and blue skies. You already know what time it is, man. It's Talking Knicks tonight. I know I haven't been on here in a long time talking Knicks basketball, man. I just been doing a lot of live stream watch-alongs and stuff like that, man. But hey, man, it's always good to talk Knicks basketball, man. We got a lot to talk about tonight, you know what I'm saying? Especially what's going on with the Knicks, you know what I'm saying, so far the season, players analysis, as well as some solutions and stuff like that we could come up with and things like that, man. So I want to thank everybody for tapping in tonight, man, to the Man-Cave podcast, courtesy of the Aboriginal Sports Network, with my co-host tonight, man, my man D in the house. You know, he be on the streams with me all the time and stuff like that, and Knicks watch along, so you know how that go. And then also my man, Worldwide L, you know, I'm going to say my brother and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? Always looking out, man, always supporting and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? He was with me, you know what I'm saying, the last couple of weeks. We're going to the sports bar, you know what I'm saying, watching them beat downs. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's all good though, man. But I want to thank everybody for tapping in, man, from YouTube, Twitter, and all social media platforms, man. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, man, to the Man-Cave podcast, as well as the Aboriginal Sports Network. You know what I'm saying, man? Shout out to the chat. Big Pat, what's good, bro? You already know what it is, man. You already know. Worldwide LD.
No doubt.
Yeah. But you know, it's all good and stuff like that, man. He's asking, do you do Jets content? You know, he just likes the Jets. He's a Giants hater.
Nah.
You know what I'm saying? He's a Giants.
I'm a Jets and Giants fan. I'm one of the few that's out there that exists.
From Rockaway, Queens. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but like I said, man, so we'll be on topic on the first first business today would be talking about the Knicks season in review, and how do you guys feel about the season so far? You know, Knicks coming in right now this season in second place in the Atlantic Coast Conference, but they are third overall in the Eastern Conference. Knicks coming in this season right now. Knicks are 37-20 on the season. You know what I'm saying? Good for second place in the Atlantic, but third overall, which is not bad at all, man. So I'm gonna let you guys go first. I'm gonna let Worldwide L go first, and I'm gonna let D go. How you feel about the season so far in review?
You want my honest opinion, or you want a content creator's opinion?
If you could do both, that'll be great. You know what I'm saying? If you could do both.
Yo,
I mean, my honest opinion is, this is the best Knicks team I ever saw. Period. I don't know how to put it all into words for y'all, but this team, S-Guard, you know, I done told you before in the beginning of the season how I felt about the team. I'm not gonna say it now because people gonna be like, "Yo, you only saying it," you know what I mean? But
right.
I mean, when I watch this team, I don't expect too much from them. They just go out there and they play ball. I don't get too low, and I don't worry about the regular season. Everybody getting a gun hole about the regular season. Now all of a sudden the regular season matters, right? It matters because it's the Knicks. But any other team, anybody else, it doesn't matter for them, right? Nobody cares about the regular season, right? Because you know, at the end of the day, this is the playoffs, right? But all of a sudden now, this season, and being that it's the Knicks, everybody's so gung-ho on the regular season. Oh, we 0-7 against the top 10 teams, right? But I think it was a couple of times where we was better, or we might have swept the team, and then came playoff time, and they sent us packing, you know? And the Hawks sent us packing. Indiana Pacers sent us packing. The Miami Heat sent us packing. So these are all teams that we was better. So it doesn't really matter. You know, the playoffs is the playoffs, and the regular season. But the overall season in review, I mean, I ain't got no problems. I ain't gonna tell y'all no lie. I've been okay, you know.
This is one of our better
do
starts,
expect them to do better. I do expect them to do better. You know, I do expect them to show a little bit more heart when they play against them big boys. I don't worry about the Cavs. You know, I'm more concerned about Boston and how we play against them. You know what I'm saying? I'm not really worried about OKC because they're not in our conference. So shit happens when you where they beat us 2 times. Okay. Ooh, okay. We only faced them 2 times, you know. So I mean, I don't get too. No, I'm just chilling. It's a good season. That's God. I mean, yo, it's the best record we had since I don't know how long. The best team I ever saw in my lifetime, and I'm 48 years old. Best team.
So you say better than the 90s team, not the 90s
better
team.
Than the 90s team. Better than the 90s team.
He's better
than the 90s team. This team is the best team I ever saw. Period. With my own eyes. I wasn't privy enough to see Walt Clyde. My brother was, and other people was, but I didn't see them. Patrick Ewing is my player. I saw them, and I knew how hard it was for them to work back then. And I know now that I know the game, and I can watch the game and watch how they play. We ain't stand a chance against some of them teams. You know, but this time I feel we stand a chance. So we'll see what happens.
D, how you feel about the season so far in review?
Well, listen, I'm not gonna go with L on that. They match up with the '90s team, but I'll give you that. I think this season alone, after I did a real, thought about it. Listen, they've achieved a lot for a team just being assembled for the year. Of course, we can nitpick with the losses, a lot of things that they're very superb or doing, or don't do. For the most part, listen, the team has put themselves in a place right now. If they get their pieces back, meaning Mitchell Robinson, maybe that'll help a little more on the defensive end. There's certain things that we could get some guys healthy and see where they are. I think the season is not lost. I don't think beating Cleveland or losing to Cleveland twice or whatever. I think we can still beat them. We beat them already in the playoffs. So that's Boston is another animal. But no, I think where the Knicks are right now is a good feeling as far as what they've been able to put together for the short time they've been together. So I'm happy. I'm happy with the season thus far.
Yeah, I mean, my take on the season, like I said, so far the season to me, I mean, it's been a success so far, 37-20, you know what I'm saying? This is the best the Knicks have played in a long time. The only thing, like I said, with me, with the Knicks team is like, compared to those other teams, like Cleveland, OKC, Boston, those teams have been together for years. You know what I'm saying? They've been together for 4 years. A lot of this Knicks team right now is not the same team that played last year in the playoffs. This is not the Knicks team from 3-4 years ago when they had RJ Barrett, Julius Randle, Mitchell Robinson, Quickly, all those guys. This is a totally new team, you know what I'm saying? So Brunson has been the only one, but Brunson is, like I said, he's been here, about 3 years now. But like I said, Mikal Bridges, he only played half a season, you know what I'm saying, this season. Also, what's that? Karl Anthony Towns. They just got here this year, you know what I'm saying? So it's like I'm like starting over again, man. It's like a lot of these guys are gone now, and then you look at the bench. A lot of the guys from the bench, they just got here too. Like Cameron Payne, Landry Shamet. You know what I'm saying? Those are new players. They haven't been here for years. Only Precious Achiuwa was here last year with OG Anunoby. He came in a trade. You know what I'm saying? He came in a trade. So hey, that's what I said. What they've been able to accomplish has been good so far. Yeah, against the good teams, the competition, they have lost to the top competition, but those guys have been together for years. You know what I'm saying? It's not like those guys, like this is their first year playing. You know what I'm saying? If this was their first year playing and Knicks losing them, like, okay. But like I said, you know what I'm saying? They just, all I see, like I said, against those guys, like I said, just play a lot better, you know what I'm saying, as far as like the energy level, you know what I'm saying, get back on D, play some defense and things like that. You know, so it's just like that's what they got to do. Once they do that, hey, everything will be good, man. But like I said, it's a process. You know what I'm saying? I know everybody want a microwave age where it'd be like, well, the Knicks are supposed to be a championship. We're supposed to be a championship team. This is not the same players from last year. This ain't Julius Randle. This ain't, like I said, you know, OG Anunoby's out of playoffs. Mitchell Robinson didn't play in the playoffs and stuff like that. You know, a lot of guys is going. You look at the Knicks, a lot. There's only like about 3 players left from like the team that was here like 3 years ago. It's only like Deuce Brunson, and Brunson, like I said, he wasn't here like 4 years ago. You know what I'm saying? So it's like a totally new team, like you said, they put together. So the Knicks have went from a gritty team, a blue collar team, now to a more finesse team, and that's what the problem is. But in essence, when you start a team like this, you see what you have, then you can start tweaking it and doing things to make them even better. So this is not a finished product, and everybody, it's not a finished product. Those other teams, Cleveland, Boston, OKC, those are finished products. Those teams, they have their core players there for some years. This Knicks team, these guys are not, like I said, Brunson is the only one who had been here for about 3 years. Like I said, Cat and Bridges just got here this year. OG Anunoby got here last year. So it's not a finished product. They just going to see what they're going to have, who can mesh with what. And you got to realize Josh Hart, some of these guys, and Bridges, these guys could be coming off the bench if they get a couple of more starters. You see what I'm saying? To strengthen that bench even more. So some of these guys that's in the starting lineup may not be starters. You know what I'm saying? They just in there because of the trades that the Knicks made. They traded away a lot of players in these trades for Karl-Anthony Towns and for Bridges. You know what I'm saying? That's what depleted the Knicks in these trades, and OG Anunoby. You know what I'm saying? So all those are 3 trades. It wasn't like these guys signed here in free agency where, you know, they kept the core team and they signed. No, these guys they came here in trades. When you come here in trades, you're going to be trading away players. You know what I'm saying? So now you got to work with new pieces, and then you got to find some guys off the scrap heap, you know what I'm saying, to make it work off the bench. And that's why the bench is weak, because like I said, these guys are not, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, in the offseason, like I said, yeah, I ain't expecting Knicks to win a championship this season. Now, last year, the way we was playing, I mean, the way we made almost to the final, I mean, close to the Eastern Conference Finals, if they'd run it back with those same guys, I'd have felt a lot better because I was more comfortable with those guys. You know what I'm saying? The way they were playing. But then when the season started, before the season started, they made the trades. You know what I'm saying? They was like, oh, these guys are gone. You know what I'm saying? They got rid of, you know what I'm saying? Towns came in, Bridges came in. So there's a whole new set of guys you got to learn how to work with. You got to learn their tendencies and stuff like that. And like I said, so far, man, the season has been a success. You know, the only down thing about it has just been some of the losses and stuff like that. Yeah, we would like to beat Detroit. Yeah, we would like to beat these other teams and stuff like that. But that's just the team itself got to pick themselves up. Like I said, play with a little bit more energy, a little bit more urgency, and play with a little bit more, you know, more motor. And yes, are the Knicks a little bit small in size? You know, a little bit, you know what I'm saying? But when Mitchell comes back, then we're going to have a big front line. You know what I'm saying? Because Mitchell will be he ain't going to start right away. You know what I'm saying? He's going to come in and, you know, a little bit off the bench, you know what I'm saying? But then when him in that lineup, with him and Karl-Anthony Towns in that lineup, that's a big lineup, you know, now, and that's another rebounder, you know what I'm saying, to add with Towns. Then you can move OG Anunoby back to the 3, Mikal to the 2, and then, you know, Brunson will be at the 1. You know, that's a bigger lineup right there. So it's all in all, you know, right now Karl-Anthony Towns playing the 5. You know, can he play the 5? Yeah, he can play the 5, but he's more suited to me for the 4. You know what I'm saying? Like he was playing with you know, with Rudy Gobert and stuff like that. And you ask a lot of the big guys, AD, Anthony Davis, he don't want to play the 5. He want to play the 4 too. You know what I'm saying? Them guys are like, yo, they don't want to take that pounding at the center position, even though it's not more of a physical game nowadays, but still, they'd rather be at the 4 spot. So, yeah, it's working out great for the Knicks. Like I said, Mitchell coming back at a good time right now. You know, got about 20-something games left in the season before you get to the playoffs. I'd rather him get the rust off of him right now, these last 20 games of the season before the playoffs, so that way he'll be ready for that. And some guys, they could say like, oh, these guys, the other teams are big. It's like, yeah, well, Mitchell Robinson, when he's healthy, and that's a key word, when he's healthy, he is a physical player in the post, and guys can't handle him. Like I said, Mitchell Robinson alone, he took care of Evan Mobley and Jared Allen against the Cavs. I mean, he made them guys like so small because he's so physical and stuff like that, blocking shots, grabbing rebounds and stuff like that. And with him back, we're gonna get more offensive rebounds because that's what Mitch gives us, more offensive rebounds. That's what we need, more offensive rebounds. And like I said, and if these other guys step up, like I said, but we'll go on to the player analysis. But so far, Knicks season review, like I said, I'm a little bit surprised. Like I said, I thought it was going to be like, you know, have some little, you know, learning curves, which they still do, you know what I'm saying? But like I said, 37-20, I can't argue, you know what I'm saying? coming into the season, we were one of the top 3 teams because of the trades that we made. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, every time, is a new team, like it's basically a new team. So these guys are still trying to gel and still trying to do things and try to mesh and things like that. Whereas these other teams, they got a 3-4 year head start on us with their guys. They already got their guys for years and all stuff. So I'm not worried about it. Like I said, if this was year 3 or 4, like I talked to El, and because like if this was year 3 or 4, I would be worried, you know what I'm saying? But I'm not worried right now because this is only the first year of these guys playing together. It's not even a year yet. They playing together. And just like I said, people going to say like, well, it's like this. Did Donovan Mitchell win a championship in his first year with the Cavs? No. I mean, did Shai Gilgeous, has he won a championship with OKC? No. He's a great player, but they haven't won in their first year with the team. So I don't know why they put it like on the Knicks, like you got to win a championship this year with new players. You know what I'm saying? It's like this is not the same team from 2 years ago, 3 years ago. You know what I'm saying? That team was more blue collar. That team was, like I said, they was a physical team. They was giving teams fits. You know what I'm saying? Whereas this team is more a little bit softer. But like I said, you're going to get Mitchell Robinson back, you know what I'm saying, to add some more size to that front line and stuff like that. And he's just got to stay healthy. Karl Anthony Towns a little banged up, but you know how it goes. But all in all, man, I'm good with it, man. I'm good with the Knicks season right now. Like I said,
I ain't got no complaints, Asgard. My thing, the Knicks is where we thought they would be. At least I thought they would be. You know what I mean? And cats don't want to give other teams their props. Like no one knew that Cleveland was going to be what Cleveland was going to be. You know what I mean? No one knew they was going to be there. So you didn't take that into consideration. Look at
but they should. I mean, they've been together for 4 years. They should.
So they said that the Knicks was going to be the second best team in the East, right? But no one thought about the Cavs
right
leapfrogging the way they did, right? Okay, so this is what according to our record, we are where we're supposed to be. I mean, I didn't think anything other than where we was going to be. The team. I mean, they're going through the ups and downs. I thought it'd probably be a little bit more struggle than what we see. You know what I mean? I didn't think that we'd get off to the kind of start that we did, even though we hit a bump in the middle of the road. But I mean, overall, I mean, this team. I mean, listen, the record tells you they doing all kind of records. They breaking all kind of records. They getting busy. You know what I mean? I think they the top team, top 3 team in offense. I mean, listen.
Yeah, we know the offensive side. The offensive side ain't the problem. Yeah, we know that. It's just the defensive side.
Shit happens. You know what I mean? I want them to play better. I'm not worried about the Cavs. I'm not worried about them. You know what I mean? My thing is Boston. My thing is the reason why. See, people think that us getting Mitch back is like, they dependent on Mitch. No one is dependent on Mitch. It adds to our depth. You know what I mean? Him coming back adds to the depth. Him coming back meaning we don't got to look at Karl Anthony Towns defend the pick and roll the way he defends the pick and roll. We don't got to look at that shit no more. You understand what I'm saying? No knock the cat, but we ain't got to look at that shit no more. We ain't got to look at you slide to the wrong person every time they run a pick and roll. And then leaving Porzingis and all the bigs open to hit the 3, right? So that's what Mitch brings when he comes back. He adds depth to a team that's kind of lacking a little depth, So and then it gives Tibbs the option to play around with the lineup,
Yeah, the thing with Mitch and Karl Anthony Towns, they still gonna do pick and rolls, especially if they know that's a weakness on you. They're gonna go to Towns. Mitchell Robinson ain't gonna do too much pick and roll unless they just trying to bring him away from the basket. That's when they try to get him to move him away. You know what I'm saying? That's the only way to move him away. So do a pick and roll that way. But if he stays back there, then I mean our defensive anchor is great. Karl Anthony Towns, all you got to do, like I said, on those pick and rolls, and I'll be watching him play on the pick and rolls. He just stays too far back. He got to come up. That's his problem. If he comes up, then, he can make it harder for the guy who come around the screen. And that's what he got to work on and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? But if Mitch is back there, then he can catch those, But at the same time, like I said, even with Towns and Mitchell Robinson, you don't want those guys overworking themselves. That's why, our perimeter defense got to be much better with Bridges and Anunoby. They got to step up their defensive play because they really haven't played good defense this season. That I think, and that's the problem. If they play much better defense, but like I said, that could happen if Mitch comes in and they slide back to their natural position, and we'll see what happens. Because, like I said, if they could stop that perimeter penetration and all that stuff, yeah, man, we good, man. If they can stop that, we good. You know what I'm saying? So, go ahead, D.
The only weakness I think on a defensive end would mainly be Brunson, and if we play Towns against Mobley, that's a major defensive weakness on that end because he cannot cover Mobley out on the open floor. He would have to play Jared out. Outside of that, I think he could do well. That's what I said. Once getting Mitch back, like you said, that gives him more room to play with the lineup to see how those two. Because you got to think with Mitch as a rebounder, Towns as a rebounder, Hart as a rebounder. Forget about it. That's adding to offensive boards. You know what I mean? How we lose out on those extra boards we should be getting for those shots. Listen, I think we got something coming that we should just wait and see. I'm not saying he's going to be the savior. I just think he gives another
dimension
boost to the team that is definitely will be needed.
Right. And that's another thing too. Like I said, part of defense is rebounding that people don't take into account. Rebounding is part of defense is extremely important. The more rebounds you get, the less opportunity the other team has to score and give them second chance opportunities. That gets you in more foul troubles because now you have to defend more longer and stuff like that. That's why I keep saying it's imperative that these other guys step up and get more rebounds. It can't just be Hart and Towns getting rebounds. And that's why the Knicks was so strong like 3 years ago, because you had Mitchell Robinson rebounding, Julius Randle rebounding, and RJ Barrett rebounding like a mug for his guard side. RJ Barrett there for like 6, 7, 8 rebounds a game by himself. You know what I'm saying? And other people is even helping out getting rebounds too. You know what I'm saying? So that's why the Knicks was getting a lot of, defensive thing. They were getting one and done because, like I said, they was helping out rebounding. This season, if you look on it, if Towns don't get the rebound, if Hart don't get the rebound, yeah, well, what we going to see? A team with 3-4 chances, 3-4 opportunities. And what's going to happen? You're going to score points. And that's why, like I said, you keep seeing a lot of 130-point games. You know what I'm saying? If you're not going to get offensive rebounds or get defensive rebounds, a team's going to score a lot of points. So, like I said, that'll shore up. If you could get those rebounds, like I said, and that's a position that we're weak at right now is the forward position with OG and as far as the rebounding part. That's the part that's weakening. And them guys was playing much stronger, rebounding and playing much stronger defense. It'll be much different. So they got to step their game up. Like I said, that's all they got to do, step their game up on the defensive end, because basically that's what they're known for, right? Playing defense. And like I said, defense is rebounding, is getting deflections, getting steals, making some stops, stopping penetration, and slowing down the other team's top wing players. So, that comes in time. Like I said, hopefully when Mitch comes back, like these guys can slide depth to their natural position, and we're going to see what happens, man. So, but like I said, so far, like I said, season in review, like I said, man, I'm good with it. Like I said, I mean, if the Knicks could be 28 and 28, then it'd be like, man, it'd be 500. Right now, they 17 games above 500. So that's a great thing. And this is the best that we've been record-wise, I think in a while. This is the best 37-20, record-wise.
Better than the 90s.
Yeah, but you said the 90s team was more parity in the league back then, though. It was so many parity and defensive teams.
I just feel, I mean, I watched that team, and and I could compare that team, I could compare it now, with the how I look at the game. And we worked hard. Part of the reason why he worked so hard because he wasn't that talented. And mind you, of the team of last year, so we had to work extra hard because we wasn't that talented. This team is talented. It's talented. And it really is.
They just got to work
Brunson
harder.
is the best I've seen. Brunson is the best point guard I've seen.
So, I mean, the best point guard we've had in a long time, though. You know what I'm saying? Which helps it out a lot. You know what I'm saying?
Correct.
So,
and he makes everybody better.
Nah. He's the best point guard since Steph, and since Marbury.
Yeah, since the early the 2000s and stuff like that.
Yeah, since Marbury. I mean, since then we haven't had a real. Charles wasn't that bad. He just was head case.
Yeah, but Charles was back then. That was with Houston and them. That was in the 90s.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, I'm just going back.
Going back, right? Well, listen. If you really want to go back, then it hasn't been better since we had Mark Jackson and Ross Strickland. Those are the best point guards that we ever had, and them dudes was a beast. You know what I'm saying? And since them guys left the team, it's been a point guard cemetery for like 20 years or something like that, man.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, Marbury was good, but if you put Brunson on that team and put Marbury on this team, would this team be the same team that it is right now?
You said what?
I don't know. They was just different players. See, Marbury, it's two different eras too. You know what I mean? Like sometimes people always don't think that the eras play a major difference in how the game is played now. You know what I mean? Brunson plays good in this era. He plays good in the Tibbs offense. That's what I could say. I just think they with looking at how OG and Mikal, they don't get rebounds because I'm like, yo, is Tibbs just have those dudes sitting in the corners? But still, that
They,
it
they
doesn't
do.
help that they still don't get defensive rebounds either.
Nah, that's on them because, like I said,
You know what
RJ
I mean?
Barrow's
Like,
getting rebounds and stuff. So
yeah,
that's on the players themselves. Because I've seen a lot of games. I watch games when they're not going for the ball. That's the problem. You got to go for the ball. It's not going to just land in your hand.
Yeah, you know what I
Brunson is
I
good.
don't like. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, D.
You said
No. I'm just saying Brunson's a good point guard. I just think sometimes he could take himself out of being a true point guard by not really running the team like he's supposed to versus just trying to score. Because if he get those guys up and running, yo, I think the Knicks will put up more points and it'd be more effective in scoring for everybody if he pushed the ball more and harder.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's what it breaks into. We go into the players' analysis. So the first player we're gonna go is like Karl Anthony Towns. What is your analysis on Karl Anthony Towns this season? I'll go with Demit first and then go worldwide. Karl
Look,
Anthony Towns.
I like what Towns is how he's playing. I think in some scenarios he should be more playing in a post. And again, I don't know how Tibbs' offense runs where he's doing a high pick and rolls with Brunson. Again, that's taken away from matchups that we should be winning. He could help us a lot more winning or beating guys in the post and shooting three.
Mismatches.
Yo, we gotta exploit those, especially when Tatum is playing you. Yo, you gotta take that matchup all day to try to get fouls on that dude to get him out the game. That's working to the benefit of us. If they start working smarter pieces to winning the games, maybe it'll be a different outcome.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I could take on Towns. Like, yo, play hard nosed back. Nevertheless, I mean, again, I don't know if he's suffering from that knee injury. That's why his defense is really lousy. But again, he's bringing what he can as far as rebounding and scoring. It's just
And also how you like to trade with Towns and Brando. You know, that was a good trade. Was that an upgrade? You know, how do you feel about that?
no. Listen, of course, I wasn't happy because I wanted to have them run it back with a healthy Randall. But I could take Towns and said that was the best deal that the Knicks should have made, knowing that Mitchell Robinson wasn't going to be ready for the season. I'll take
Right.
that all day because he definitely has helped propel the Knicks to be where they are. Without
Mm-hmm.
him, no, we wouldn't be there. We wouldn't
Right.
be where we are. So he's a major piece that we put on the roster that has propelled the Knicks to be at the record they are and how they're playing. He's a
Okay.
major piece.
All right, L.
He made me feel more and more comfortable with that trade every time I watch him play. I ain't gonna tell you no lie. I was one. My thoughts on the trade was we gave up too much, right? I always felt like it was a
Mm-hmm.
Randy for him straight up was a good deal. I felt like giving up Dante was just too much. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? And that's just how I felt. So I didn't like the trade. It wasn't so much of Cat for Randall, but just it should have been that. If that was the case, it should have been straight up. But the more I watch him, the more I appreciate what he could do, what he brings to the game, and the more
Mm-hmm.
how dominant he is. I don't feel like at times they lock him out the offense, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we see that at times where I think it was I forgot what game it was. He was going off, and then all of a sudden the fourth quarter, he should have ended up with 50 that game. And I
Mm-hmm.
think he ended up with like 42 or 46 or something like that because he
The
knew the
Bulls game. I know the Bulls game.
I'm not sure. It wasn't an
He had a couple
overtime
of
game. It
40s
wasn't an
against the
overtime
Bulls.
game. It was before the break. It was before the break. It was one of them games
Okay.
when he scored back-to-back 40. It was one of those games. And he got iced
Okay.
out in the fourth quarter. Not to say it was done on purpose, but guys were looking for their shot. And I felt like he should have. It was at that time the team Brunson too should have been looking for him more than what they was looking
Mm-hmm.
for him. because what he brings to this team, he allows everybody else to get busy. You understand what I'm saying? And if you don't get the big man involved, then everybody else can't get busy. See, when I was telling you when you called me about Brunson going out there, with Brunson going into these games and he's shooting first, you know, he's not getting everybody involved. And you know, get the big boy involved first. You know what I mean? Because once you get the big boy involved, everybody else gonna get involved. You know how like I always like to talk about people getting touches, you know, getting touches in the game, to touch the ball. It gets your morale working. You know what I mean? You feel part of the game. Is that times where you look at Mikal, he's on the side, he's not even being part of he's not even in the offense. And ain't nothing that he ain't doing is that they got it's the, you know, Brunson got the ball. You know what I mean? I mean, he's still active, he's still cutting towards the basket, but the morale be off when cats don't touch the ball. When all them cats is touching the ball, that's when the Knicks ended up with 30 plus assists. When they're not touching the ball is what you see when you play against the Cavs, when you play against the Boston. That's the problem. It ain't that we can't compete with them, it's just that we forget how to play when we play against them teams. Go to the big man, go to my man, the big purr, not the bodega, the big purr.
You said the cat, huh? The big cat.
Well, listen, if he moved like a cat, we would win a lot more games.
the big purr.
Right. No, well, I'm gonna just say like this. I mean, because I talked to D. I even talked to you on the season still when they made that trade. I'm like, man, what are the Knicks doing, man? I'm like, you know, Randall's like like a physical player. Towns is more of like a softer player, man. You know, because that's how you think about it like that. It's like, but not knowing that behind the scenes that Mitchell Robinson was gonna be ready for the season, because I thought he got hurt in the playoffs. I'm like, oh, he had surgery. Oh, he gonna be back. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna start the season. We're gonna run it back with these guys and all that stuff. We're gonna run it back, and that didn't happen because, like I said, behind the scenes, they knew Mitchell was going to be ready for the season. So and Hartenstein left in free agency. So that was another big thing. Once Hartenstein left in free agency, they was like, look, we have to make a trade. We got to get Karl-Anthony Towns because Randall's not going to be the 5, even though you heard about Randall playing possibly the 5 at times and stuff like that. But the Knicks knew it. Then it was like they needed a 5. You know what I'm saying? Now, if Hartenstein would have stayed, then I don't know if the Towns trade would have been made. But if Hartenstein would have stayed, I don't think the Towns trade would have been made. You know what I'm saying? So that was another thing. Once Hartenstein left in free agency, Mitchell Robinson's going to be out for a while. And they had really no center on the roster but Jericho Sims, who they're not going to trust. You know what I'm saying? So they made that trade. And like I said, I wasn't too thrilled with it, especially giving up Randall and DiVincenzo, because I knew, I was just like, man, that's a lot. Every time we make these trades, we keep giving up more and more pieces. It's like it's going to add. I mean, we don't have no depth. You know what I'm saying? We're going to have about a starting unit with no depth, you know what I'm saying? Because we trading like 3-4 guys, in these trades, and we only getting back 1 player or 2 players, depending on what it is. You know what I'm saying? So, but ever since the trade been made, man, I was like, yo, I mean, watching Karl-Anthony Towns play in New York now, I was like, hey, we always said Randall was a double machine. It's like, yo, but Karl-Anthony Towns is even a bigger double machine he does that stuff in his sleep. So it's just like, wow, man. It's like, I didn't even think about it like, you know what I'm saying? Because we know Randall's like, he's a double machine. But if he got to be anybody to be traded for, it would be Karl-Anthony Towns. And, like I said, he is from the area. Like I said, he got that soft labels, but we'll see in the playoffs and stuff like that, man. But so far, like I said, I've enjoyed Karl-Anthony Towns. Like I said, as far as his shooting, that's another dimension he brings as a 3-point shooter, spaces the floor. You know what I'm saying? He can bring the big man out from down in the post. So they got to play on the perimeter and stuff like that. He could drive to the basket. He can score on all 3 levels. He's a great free throw shooter. The only one knock on him, like I said, is the defensive part, like the rim protection and stuff like that. Yeah, he don't get too many rim protection, and he's not good on pick and roll defenses and stuff like that. You don't know that until you see the player on your team, because when he's on Minnesota, I really didn't pick up on it. You know what I'm saying? Because he wasn't on my team. But when he comes on your team, then you look and be like, whoa. And the pick and roll defense, like I said, man, it's not the hardest defense. It's like all you got to do is just like come up. You know what I'm saying? He just stays so far back. It's like, bro, you can't play defense like that. It's like you have to come up and make that guy who coming off the screen, make him work harder to even throw a pass or anything. Or you got to hedge. You know what I'm saying, to make it that much harder. For the player to move. You know what I'm saying. But if he could, like, you know what I'm saying, like improve his pick and roll defense, that's even better, because the rebounding part is crazy, man. This dude getting like 18 rebounds, 19, 20 rebounds, 17. I mean, he's a rebound machine that You know what I'm saying? And he was like that early in his career, but then when Rudy Gobert got there, he was getting less rebounds, but he was still averaging 9 to 10 rebounds. You know what I'm saying? But Gobert was getting the rebounds too. So when Mitch come back, now you're gonna have 2 rebounders in there. So like I said, that's more second chance points for us, and that's gonna be like a third rebounder in the starting lineup. You know what I'm saying? But then again, if Mitch comes in the starting lineup, maybe Josh might go to the bench. I don't know who's gonna let Mikal go to the bench. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, we need rebounders, man. Guys got to rebound, like I said, and rebounding is not hard. All it is hustle and determination. That's all it is. Hustle and determination if you want it. You ain't got to do too much. Box out, go get the ball. You know what I'm saying? Anticipate, go get the ball. And if they could do that, like I said, if they could do that, we'll be that much better. But as far as Karl-Anthony Towns, like I said, man, hey, at first I wasn't good with the trade, but now I'm good. I'm great with the trade. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, he's here, and he's a bigger player than Randall. He's 6'11", 7 foot. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, he's an inside-out player. He's a double machine. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna say he's a two-way player, but you know what I'm saying? As far as rebounding and points, yeah. Now, can he work more on his shot blocking and pick and roll defense? Yeah. And who knows? It might rub off him with Mitch, but he played with Rudy Gobert, who was a good defensive player who won. You know what I'm saying? So that really didn't do too much. So, but with Tom Thibodeau and Mitchell Robinson, hopefully, they can help do that stuff like this. And another thing, just like how Tibbs helped, I will give Tibbs, he helped with Mitchell Robinson fouling, like getting rid of them silly fouls he used to get early on in his career. But Towns still be doing that stuff. It's like he got to get rid of that too, the stupid fouling. We need you in the game, you know what I'm saying? We can't be picking up these little bunnies, you know what I'm saying, these little fouls that you get because we need you in the game. We don't need you to get 2-3 fouls, you know what I'm saying, go sit down. But as far as Towns, man, I'm good with that, man. So
I got a knock on. I forgot to put my knock on the big purr. If I had his ass say, "Oh my God," one more. If I had him say, "Just go to the fucking hole," and if you don't get the foul call, just go back down. Stop saying, "Oh my God."
Exactly.
Every time.
Every time.
Like, damn, cat. If I hear you say that shit one more time, I'm gonna jump on the damn screen on your ass. Like,
yeah,
damn.
he want to sit there and have a conversation with the ref while they scoring on. Like, let it go, bro.
Let it go.
He
I mean, he get hacked. I'm not saying he don't get hacked.
All day.
He said too much complaining with the refs after every foul. Too much complaining. That's what it is, right? Because you put your team in a bad predicament when you just keep arguing with the ref or complaining because then the other team goes down and score or something like that.
They go down and score. That's one of the biggest problems I have with this team is that they give up them uncontested
transition
points,
right?
I mean, we get killed. We get killed by that all the time.
Mm-hmm.
All the time. So
all right.
I think they got to clean up.
All right, so good one, Cat. So the next player we're going to talk about is, I think the most dependable Knicks so far this season has been Josh Hart, man. Listen, I can't say enough about Josh Hart. You know what I'm saying? I know he's a role player and stuff like that, man, but that guy leaves it out there every day, every game, man. Don't matter what it is. He's not the best shooter in the world, but any points he give us is gravy, is great. You know what I'm saying? All that, I could always count on him to get rebounds. I mean, I don't know how you do it at 6'4", 6'5", but the dude averages like double doubles and rebounds and stuff like that. So you got to look at his stats. Every day is like a double machine as far as his points. But the rebound, man, he gets 16 rebounds, 13 rebounds. And everybody know in the playoffs last year, man, that dude was gobbling up rebounds, man, next to Hartenstein. I was like, oh my God. You know what I'm saying? It's like, and like I said, Josh Hart might not be the greatest dribbler or fast break guy or whatever and stuff like that, and I know, and I talked to Demeet, I was just like, my only pet peeve with him is just like he just hesitates too much on wide open shots. He just passes up too many wide open shots. You got to be ready to score the ball because every time they give you that ball, it's the shot clock is running down. And every time you fake it and come in the lane and take a bad shot or throw to another player, it's almost a shot clock violation, bro. Take the shot. I don't care if you make it or you miss it. Only two things going to happen. You're going to make it or you're going to miss it. I'd rather you do that than turn the ball over. So that's my only thing with him, just the hesitation on shots that he's wide open on. But other than that, as far as intangibles and stuff like that, he's the guy who hustles on our team. He goes after loose balls. A rebound is like which call are going. He's going to go track it down or something like that because he knows possession counts. And that's how he plays like, man, he's a dog. I give it to him. He's a dog. Josh Hart is a dog. And I don't care if he's a starter or if he's coming off the bench. If you can get that type of production from a guy like that, it helps your team out tremendously. You know what I'm saying? A player like that, you need that on your team because every team needs a guy who's going to do the dirty work. You need that, man. So with Josh Hart, like I said, man, I mean, he's not the best, what you call a guy, like I said, but you need him on your team. He's a glue guy. That's why I call him a glue guy. He could do it all. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if you need him to play small shooting guard, small forward, or whatever, even power forward sometimes, depending on what it is, he's a strong player for his size. You know, he's not one of those guys, and he gives you effort on defense. He's not one of those guys that's like real soft on defense. He's one of the dogs on defense that really players like, you know, they got to, you know, come with their A game against Josh Hart. He's going to play you. You know what I'm saying? He's a dog. So I've been real happy with Josh Hart. Like I said, that's my only gripe on Josh Hart. But other than that, man, he's been, to me, the unsung hero next to, you know, like Towns and Brunson. You know what I'm saying? Those guys, you know, game in and game out. And, you know, when he doesn't play, you know what happens with our rebounds, man. You know what I'm saying? So I'm good with Josh Hart. So I'm going to let D go. What you got on Josh Hart, man?
Josh Hart, like I said, whatever we get back or whatever he do with that lineup, to me it just gives the rotation that much depth coming off the bench, like you kept saying, as far as having another hustle guy, or even if Mitchell comes off the bench as another rebounder, another offensive, whatever the case may be. I think Josh Hart has definitely overachieved for me, because I didn't see him as playing as hard as, you know, for other teams that I see him playing for the Knicks. So listen, I love Josh Hart. Josh Hart is the heart and soul when you think about defense, rebounding, or a hustle man. You know what I mean? He's that guy. So for me, listen, Josh Hart could do. I think more or less, I need Josh Hart to start shooting them jumpers. I'm thinking about the last game. He had 19 points. It was mostly layups and foul shots, but it was like, yo, they left you open, dude. You could have had a lot more you could have put on the table with that. A lot more jump shots you could have taken, and definitely helped the Knicks with the scoring, punching with Boston. But again, Josh Hart to me is a plus. Wherever they put him, I think off the bench, starting him still. Listen, I think adding more depth to this lineup is definitely going to help him. He will be a part of that, whether he's coming off the bench or not.
Okay. Yeah, what you got on Josh Hart, man?
You know, one of the things I like about Josh Hart is he does a great job at seeing what the game needs. You know what I mean? Seeing what the team needs at that moment, and he tries to go out there and do the job or whatever it is that the team needs at that moment, whoever we playing against. That's what I love. That's what I like the most about him. You know, he does a great job at that. So whatever he give us. But I just like the fact that he does that, and not too many players do that. You know, and that's one of his strengths. Yeah, and it's no knock to nobody else, because it's all-star players that don't do what he do. You know, they just go out there. They go out there and they just do their job. He go out there and do his job, your job, the job, my job. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that's the thing I like about him. He sees what the game needs, and he tries to put his stamp on the game, whether it's rebounding, scoring, assists. You know, just hustle plays. If me diving for a ball a loose ball could change the course of a game, and you know, go back to the word of morale again, bring up the team morale. Now I'm going to do it. So he does it. So, you know, good job. You know, other than that, I ain't really got nothing to say about Josh Hart. You know, he's a role player. You know.
Cool. Well, next up, man, we're going to go to Mr. OG Anunoby in the trade from the Raptors last year for RJ Barrett and Emmanuel quickly. Like I said, last year he came in, man, and helped turn the Knicks around from that point on. You know what I'm saying? Early on with Randall and all that stuff, man. I think the Knicks at one point was like 16-2 or something like that, 15-3, something like that when he first came, man. It was like, yo, he just fit in seamlessly last year with that team. Another, you know, that was a rugged team last year, you know what I'm saying? So he fit in seamlessly with them guys. You know, so he had a good year last year, but, you know, of course, the injuries crept up in the playoffs, you know what I'm saying, last year, because we really could have used his size and things like that last year in the playoffs, you know, especially against the Pacers and stuff like that, man. Well, he was one of those players that was really missed, because I think if we'd have had him at least, you know, that'd have been even much better to help us advance and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? But he wasn't available and stuff like that. So this year he came back in this season, man. Like I said, With OG and Anobi, like I said, me personally, like I said, his scoring has improved this season. Like I said, you know what I'm saying? He's been scoring some points, but like I said, the problem, like I said, with me, has just been on his defensive end where that was his calling card as the defensive side. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, he plays some good defense. I ain't gonna lie, here and there sometimes against some players and stuff like that. But you know, this is the regular season, so we'll see if we have him available in the playoffs. We'll see how his defense picks up and stuff like that. And this year has been a little bit different because this year he's playing the 4 position. You know, last year he played the 3. You know, because we had these other guys there. Hartenstein was here, you know, even though Mitch was out, so he was playing the 3. Now, and you know, Randall was here too, so Randall's playing the 4. But now with Randall gone, Hartenstein gone, he's been, you know, playing the 4 position, and that's not his position. Even though he can play 1 through 5 on defense from time to time, but the 4, I think that's hurting him. Like I said, that's why I can't wait for Mitch to come back so he can go back to his natural position at the 3. You know, same playing against the other wing players and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And he's been slowed by a little bit of injuries this year too and stuff like that. So hopefully, like I said, you know, playoff time coming these last 20-some games, he could shake off the rust, man. I know he's playing with a toe injury right now. That's what they're calling it. You know, so I don't know, man. That could be another tricky injury for him, you know what I'm saying? But we're going to need this guy in the playoffs and things like that. So hopefully, like I said, he can fight through it and stuff like that, and he'll be available and stuff like that because I want to see what he's going to do in the playoffs, especially when Mitch comes back and stuff like that, and he goes to the 3 position to see, you know, if his defense will pick up and also the rebounding because we're going to need help with that rebounding. I don't care where he's on the court. As long as you're on the court, you're playing 30, 40 minutes, we're going to need your help on the rebounding side of it and stuff like that, you know. Yeah, you can get block shots and steals, but, yeah, we need that rebound, and we need you to shut down some of them perimeter players from coming in the paint. That's what we need, dribble penetration. We got to stop guys from coming in the paint because that's what's killing us, you know, coming in the paint and, you know, that, you know, getting in the paint when Mitch not there, you know, guys are scoring baskets and stuff like that. And also, you know, for these guys playing new to is like a lot of miscommunications on defense. Guys are like, you know, a lot of breakdowns in defense. Is like, I'm like, man, these guys are like, yo, they looking behind them, people getting layups behind them easy, cutting back door and things like that. Hopefully they could talk better and do some better communications and cut that down. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know, you know, Towns talking to these guys from behind, but I know Mitchell Robinson's a good, like he talks on there, you know, talks to those guys and stuff like that while he's on the, you know, on the back end and stuff like that. So we'll see. But with OG and Anobi, like I said, so far, I mean, it's a mixed bag with me. With him, like I said, he just got to pick up his play on the defensive end. The offensive end is good, you know what I'm saying? He just got to get a little bit more aggressive, got to get that motor revved up and stuff like that. I want to see him play at a faster pace and stuff like that with OG and Anobi. But, D, what you got on OG?
Listen, OG, I expected more from OG coming into this season, to be honest with you. So he's been a little bit of a disappointment to me because 2 rebounds, 3 rebounds a game for a dude putting in, like I said, 35, 40 minutes a game. That's poor. That's poor to me. Outside of him being healthy, that's what I would like to see. Again, like you said, going last year, we could have used him in that Pacer series. We missed his added input. And to me, last year, it seemed like he put more efforts on the boards than he did this year. To be honest with you, didn't see that last year with the lack of effort on that. But everything else, as far as development wise, as far as like his shooting, and like you said, if the team played faster, if our point guard pushed these guys to play faster, I think we would get more out of our wing guys than is shown, and it would help the team. Like you say, like everybody touching the ball, everybody feeling a part of the game. When we play a 2-man game, I isolate some of these guys out of the game, and OG's dudes, and maybe him touching the ball a little more will get his motor up. I guess, but as far as what I'm looking out of OG, I need more rebounding. I need him to exactly talk on defense, help those lack of those like the Karl Anthony Towns, help them out. I mean, there's no way to help Towns with his pick and roll shit. He don't have the footwork, whether it's that injury or not. But we just need OG to be that guy on that defensive end. With if Mitchell comes back, and like you said, those guys between him and Mikel, listen, I'm already looking for a better second half.
Okay.
See what these guys got to offer.
All right, Al.
Unlike y'all guys, I actually enjoy my man OG Anunoby. I don't see what y'all see when it comes down to him. I'm sorry. I don't. He's averaging career highs all the way around the board. Rebounding, he's averaging about 5 rebounds a game. He gets 2 steals a game, so that's another 2 more possessions he get. We're not even going to talk about how many deflections he get that goes our way that he doesn't even get credit for. So I don't see what y'all guys see. I'm sorry about that. I mean, I have no gripe with OG. I mean, I just wish he would have played. I wish he would have played before the break. I wish he would have played before the break, knowing that y'all probably wasn't going to play the back-to-back, just to get him out there to get his feet wet, because he looks like he ain't got his feet wet coming back. You know, he's been out a couple of games, so you know, I didn't expect too much from him coming back. And his first game back is against Cleveland. Next game back is against Boston. So I didn't expect too much from him. I mean, he's been doing his job. You know, I mean, everybody can cry about the money, but that's the going rate. That's the going rate for players these days. So I got no problem with the money, and it ain't my money anyway. So I don't care nothing about the bread. Give him everything. Give him everything. So when Cats complained about the bread, I'm like, shit, that ain't my money.
Hold on, Lee. Let me ask you a question. Compared to his monies with, say, another superstar like Tyrese Maxey, OG. You think they should be getting paid the same amount of money?
No, it depends on what Maxey does for his team. See, we're paying OG to do something what we paying him for. See, Maxey's getting paid to do whatever the Philadelphia 76ers need him to do. See what I'm saying? Paul George got money for them to do what he does for them. He got more money than OG Anunoby, didn't he? So who would you rather have? And I heard Knicks fans was crying for Paul George last year. They wanted Paul George. Why we signed OG? Why we didn't sign Paul George? That's the reason why we didn't sign Paul George. So who would you take, Paul George or OG? I'm taking OG.
Right now, you're right. I would take OG all day. He's a younger player, and hopefully we could get him healthy to stay healthy. Yeah, he could do more for us.
I mean, and always look at it with this also too with OG. He has a tradable contract because a lot of players make the same amount of money that he makes.
So let me ask you a question. With OG Anunoby, he said he's done what he's supposed to do. So do you have confidence in him like shutting down like a Jason Tatum in the playoffs, or a Jaylen Brown in the playoffs, or a Donovan Mitchell in the playoffs?
No player in the league could shut down another player. That's why I don't understand when cats say that. It's always going to be a team effort. You just try to contain a player. You can never shut down another player. It's 1-on-1. They play man-to-man defense. That's why the scoring. That's why cats average what they average. It's man-to-man defense. So let's go out there, and it's going to take a team effort to do whatever they do. Boston ain't Tatum ain't shutting nobody down. Brown ain't shutting nobody down, but they'll shut you down together as a collective group. That's the thing, as a collective group.
Well, see, the thing about it is when the player's labeled as a defensive player, that's what it comes from. Not an offensive player, like a guy who's a defensive player. They'd be like, yo, that's what they brought him here down to slow down, not to shut him down completely, but slow them down. You know what I'm saying? If they're gonna be scoring 35 and 36 points, that's not slowing somebody down. Now, if they scoring like 15 points or 16 points, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Of course, you're not gonna.
They using the rest of them cats. What they say about them cats? What they say about when Brunson does that to them cats? That's supposed to be defensive wizards. What they say about them?
Oh yeah.
Now when they play against Brunson, they not good defensive players anymore. So I don't look at it that way.
No. We talking about like, in a game situation, one game situation, you ain't gonna shut. But we talking about in a playoff, in a series. That's what we're gonna see in a series. If you can slow the play down in a series, because that's why you're playing like 5, 6, 7 times against the play. One game, I mean, it happens. It's an anomaly. You know what I'm saying? It's like he might go off, other person might not. But in a series, if a player, you can't have a player averaging 35 points or something in a whole series though. If you're the primary defender or something like that. Yeah, if it's pick and roll defense, that's a little different because now you're gonna get what you call on the pick and roll, you're gonna get off the guy. But if it's just you straight on the guy without no pick and roll defense, you're supposed to be able to slow him down, play good defense and contest the shot. Listen, as long as you play good defense and contest the shots, I'm good. But if he's getting like cooked or something like that, you can tell somebody's getting cooked. You know what I'm saying? When you be like, oh man,
you don't see that too often. You don't see that too often. You can't say that You can't knock him for saying he can't shut nobody down. You want to see him shut somebody down, and then you give credit to the pick and roll at the same time, saying, all right, if they do the pick and roll, then he's not on the thing anymore. So you can't use that together and say if they use the pick and roll, then you can't knock his defense. Then if they're going, because that's what this game is about. They're going to free them players up somehow, some way. That's what they do. We free up Brunson. That's what happens. So OG may start on Tatum, but he might end up on Porzingis. And then you don't look at that possession when he's on Porzingis and he takes Porzingis out the game. For that one possession that he may have guarded Porzingis and took him out of that possession right then and there. See what I'm saying? You're looking at the overall total score of what a player get. You can't look at the overall total of what a player get. He ended up with 35. OG might not even been on him for, and then you got to look at how many times OG had guarded him and what his shooting percentage and his numbers was when OG was guarding him for that time being. You can't look at what the player gave up.
Right, but when the player's
just drop a little jewels, baby. Just drop a little jewels.
Listen, but when the player gets out, when the player gets out in the game, they got to put their best defender on him to try to slow him down, right? That's what they do. They got to put him on over there. But like I said, again, what is OG? I'm just not using as an example. He's getting paid for what? To play defense. That's what he was brought here to play defense, right? That's his calling card. That's what he's getting paid for, right? To play defense, not for offense. He was brought here for defense, not for offense. For defense, that's what he's getting paid for. Is that not true? That's why they paid him, right?
I mean, he hasn't been playing defense. He hasn't been playing defense.
No. I'm asking.
Even his defensive stats say he's been playing. He's a good defender this season. So even the stats.
I know, but listen, that's what the stats say. That's not what my oddball see. I'm not seeing that with him and Bridges, though. I'm not seeing.
That's why I said I want you to do is look at when they set them screens. See, part of the problem with the Knicks is the point of attack, right? So if you don't have somebody to defend the point of attack, and he's not that kind of player, and no, it's Bridges. But when you put out McBride out there, he's a point of attack player. He's a guard that can stay with you when you're coming up the court, right? He could stay with you. He's got the speed. So that's how it determines how our game goes, right? And when I explain this to you, we don't play against too many pick and roll teams, right? Denver being one, but somehow, some way, it's mental with him and Cat. So Cat know that he can defend him because I just bust your ass in the playoffs. Same shit I say about Brunson and Spider. I don't worry about that because it becomes mental in the playoffs. It's all about mental in the playoffs. Everything is mental. You know what I mean? You're trying to figure out how I'm going to outsmart this team, right? So Donovan Mitchell goes back to the time where Brunson sent his ass home. Now he didn't send him home that year. He sent him home the next year. You know what I mean? So that's always plays a major part when you're going in the play. The playoffs is a different beast.
Listen, that's what we're going to see. That's why the playoffs. That's why we can't wait for them games to come. Because like I said, that's when you're going to see. Yeah, during the regular season is a one-game thing. Yeah, we understand that. But during the playoffs, that's when you're really going to get to see if this is going to happen or it can't happen or you got to, you know what I'm saying? Because that's when, if you can slow a player down, like I said, you're not going to shut somebody down completely like the whole. You can slow them down. As long as you can slow them down to a minimal point, that's all we're asking for as a defender. If you're a good defensive player, you know what I'm saying? Compared to like if you're a weak defensive player now, it's like, there ain't no hope. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so we got the analysis on OG and Anunoby. So what is the analysis now for Mikal Bridges? And I'll let you go first, L, on Mikal Bridges.
My analysis on Mikal Bridges. Well, first of all, it ain't his fault that he got the 5 draft picks. He got traded for 5. Leave that alone. They ain't got nothing to do with him. And everybody keep attaching them 5 picks to him. So once they get over that hump, then you can dissect his game better than how everybody dissect his game. You know what I mean? I think part of his problem is he just need to be involved in the offense more. You know what I mean? Him scoring, what he had 40 against the Spurs on Christmas Day. Him scoring 40 and doing things like that. That's what he does. But you gotta involve him in the offense. You know what I mean? That's just my thing with him. So when they do that, nobody ain't got nothing to say. But when he's not a part of the offense and he ended up with what he had the other night, then you make a good when you talk about rebounds with him. There's no reason for you not to have. You have one rebound or no rebound. Like there's no reason for you to have that. You understand what I'm saying? It's no reason for him to have that. But part of the thing is when you don't get them touches and you're not part of you don't feel like you're part of the game. And then you get benched and then you sit down and then the next dude coming in. Now you really ain't in rhythm. So and then you catch a little smoke towards the end of the game. Let's hope that carry over to tomorrow night. You know, he seen the ball go through the basket. I mean, I don't have a problem with Bridges. Would I like to see RJ here? Probably so. You know what I mean? This is a personal me for me and RJ.
Right, I know.
You know what I'm saying? Because RJ do go to the hole. One of the things that Bridges don't do, he don't go to the hole. You know what I mean? He'll go to the hole and then he'll stop,
fall away,
spin around, and then do a fadeaway. You know what I mean? So I don't understand that part with him. And then when he do go to the hole, he misses a lot. You know, so that's the only thing that I really have a problem. But I don't have too many high expectations. I'm happy he's a Knick. You know what I mean? I was excited about the pick. I didn't the trade, I should say. I didn't care nothing about them picks because I felt like if this team was going to be anything close to what they think they're going to be, then them picks is not going to be nothing. Now could you have traded those picks for another player? Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay.
You know, but who that player remains to be, no one knows. And we can all look at the Luka trade and say, yo, we gave up $5 million what it is, and them niggas got Luka for nothing. No, listen.
You got Luka for AD, right?
I always look at the KP deal, right? Think about this, y'all. The KP trade is the trade that keeps on giving. Just think about that trade and how many players we got from that trade. That's it. And just think about that. It's all the players. If you don't make that trade, you don't get Randall. If you don't get Randall, you don't get Cat. If you don't get Randall, you don't get Brunson. And the listeners go on and on from that one KP trade. From that one KP trade, y'all. It's so many angles that KP trade that open up for this team. Right. So, you know, stop worried about the picks. The picks only meant something when we was a horrible team. When we was a horrible team, but when you're a team that's winning,
the lottery picks, right?
Yeah. And then captain, people want to come play with this team. Dudes who want to come play. Look at everybody on this team. Everybody's playing at a all-time high, career highs, probably except for Mikal because he's in a different role. But Hart numbers is a career high. OG numbers is career high. Cat numbers is career high. His overall play is career high. Brunson is having a career high with his assists and things of that nature. You know what I mean? So. Yeah, it's good to be a Knicks fan. That's it.
Okay.
It's good to be a Knicks fan.
All right, D.
Yo, Lee, I know you're an OG fan, but he could rebound a lot more, dude. As well as
rebound. Mikal can rebound or
he said both of them.
Both. Them dudes lackluster. Listen, he's another one. Like you said, his rebounding could be a lot up. I mean, come on, for a dude that's almost nearly 7 foot if he stretches his arms straight out. Listen, we could use those arms to get some more boards, second opportunities as far as putbacks, everything. Mikal Bridges, to me, other than, like you said, going strong to the bucket and driving to the basket a lot more, listen, what we've getting out of him as far as another defender, on-ball defender, I like his attributes for the most part. He's another one. He just needs to hit those boards harder. Every loose ball attempt. Listen, every extra possession we get puts a point on the board or takes a point away from the other team, and that's how we got to look at it, and that's how they should look at it. Especially when you're in the game playing 35 plus minutes, you should never finish a 35 plus minute game with 2 fucking rebounds under your belt. So,
I'm saying you play ball. You play ball.
Yes.
So you play ball, right? So think about this, for example. If you play 35 minutes and you only touch the ball 5 times, how would your effort be on that team that you out there? Not that you won't give an effort because you're getting paid millions and millions of dollars, but your morale will be down. You understand? Your morale. See, it's the difference between not giving an effort. It's the morale. I'm just out here. I'm wide open. Nobody giving me the ball.
Yo, I'm gonna keep it a buck with you, especially to the point where they are in their lives, where the money is definitely at the very top of where it is. Yo, you should, especially if you're not being effective on the offensive end, you should be the most on the defensive end. You should, as far as defensive boards, offensive boards. If you go for offensive boards and you get putbacks, those are points on the boards for you as well. That's putting you in the game. You dig what I'm saying? So if your effort is not where it needs to be, you're only hurting the team. So if you telling me you're gonna take yourself out of the game because you didn't get touches in the first 3 possessions, then you're in the game not helping the team.
I don't think he don't take. I don't think he take himself out the game. I think the team takes him out of the game. The way how the team is played. So if you watch it, that's when Brunson start getting into his groove, and it's like only time he gets it is bailout situations.
Yeah,
just think about that.
I mean, listen, and I can understand that fully, but the fact is, you roll with the hot hand. It goes with anything. If I'm not hitting and somebody else is hitting. If I could get him off screens and he's still hitting and we're rolling with that, you got to roll with the game plan or what the game is showing you to be. You can't just change it because, let me get a couple of touches now and you miss 3-4 shots. You killing the momentum of where the team is already at. So again,
I don't think he do that. I don't think he does that. I don't think he does that.
No.
RJ used to do that. RJ used to do that.
I'm just explaining to you, like I said, touches in a game shouldn't distract you from the overall outcome of the game. You should play the game as the game is being played, whether you get touches or not, to the full. You dig what I'm saying? Like, if I was on the court and I didn't touch the ball once, I'm still trying to rebound. I'm still trying to give out my team extra possessions on my effort.
How good is your offense at that point? How good is your offense?
He said it might affect him on the offensive side, but not it shouldn't affect you on the defensive side.
It shouldn't affect. Listen, your extra possessions you go for is your possessions. You can make them your possessions. Why not? Putbacks, layups. You know what I mean? Everything you put into the game is a reflection of what you could get out of the game. And to me, if he plays the game, if you're telling me he plays off the effort of like that, then dude, he's not helping the team. He's hurting.
His effort is there. His morale the morale is like, now I get the ball and I miss a shot. Is the heck of the Bulls. You understand what I'm saying? But meanwhile, I ain't get it like that the whole time. I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing out here. You know what I mean? So he's playing. It ain't like they don't do their job. They do their job. Was he a big rebounder before he came here?
Listen, I don't know. He never was a big rebounder. My thing is, like I just said to you, if you playing 35 minutes a game, there's no way, dude. At 6'6", 6'7" almost, you should only be finished the game with 2 rebounds.
I agree with the 2 rebounds. I can't argue that one. I agree with that one. Look, 2 rebounds right there. It's right there.
I'm not even putting the emphasis on him. OG is the same way. There's no way you should be finished. Yo, I should see 2 Knicks running into each other trying to get the same ball. If anything, that means everybody efforts is to get that ball and save that possession. You dig what I'm saying? When you don't have that, when you see only Josh Hart and Towns bumping into each other, or Josh Hart getting a rebound, or where the hell is those other 2 numbskulls at?
So where Brunson at? Where Brunson at?
I would even say him too. Listen,
you gotta. That's why I say you gotta watch how the game. Each game is different. Yeah.
Yo, keep in mind, me and SB, like, he'll go over the stats at the end of the game. You're talking about a McBride come in for maybe 15, 20 minutes. This dude is leaving the game with 4 or 5 rebounds. Those dudes only getting 2 rebounds. Like, you could, between them, they only get 2 rebounds apiece. I mean, total. 1 and 1 sometimes. There's no fucking way.
Yeah, you can go back and look at the game logs and stuff. You can see it for yourself. You be like, yo, that's between 2 players. Like, yo, that's not enough, man.
Yo, there's not enough. Those dudes got to put more effort on getting those boards, dude. There's no way Campaign getting more rebounds than you. Deuce McBride, 6 foot. Y'all dudes is 6'6", 6'8". Like, come on. And this dude is getting more rebounds.
I can only defend OG. I can't defend McCall. I can only defend OG. He averaged 5 rebounds. He's averaging his numbers.
Yeah, he's averaging 5 rebounds. He's averaging 5 rebounds, but those are misleading and stuff. When you go look at the stats, when you go look at the stats, you look at a lot of games. He has like 3 rebounds and 2. It's like, bro, you're playing 40 minutes, bro. I mean, you should get 6 or 7 rebounds off the rip. I mean, automatically. Let me tell you something. If both of them could get 6 or 7 rebounds a game, it would be it'll help out tremendously if they could do that. That's all they got to do, like I said, and that's not the hard thing though. But before I go on, Mikal, man, I'm gonna give a shout out to the chat. Big Pass Sports Talk, D-Dan Shelton, RC. You already know what it is, bro. Leaf Diggy, the Nets hater, is in the house. What's up, Leaf? Now, that's my boy. He's a Nets fan and stuff like that. And I want to shout out everybody, man. Thank you for tapping in from YouTube, Twitter, man, to the Man-Cave podcast. If this is your first time to my channel, man, please hit that like and subscribe button, man, and also share it on all social media platforms, as well as the Aboriginal Sports Network. The link is right there in the chat. Please go up and subscribe. But yeah, as far as Mikal Bridges, like I said, I know people talk about the draft picks and all that stuff. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't trade 5 picks for Mikal Bridges. He's not worth the 5 picks, but he gives us what, you know what I'm saying? I mean, at the time of the deal, hey, he's coming here to be a 4th option or 3rd. I'm cool with that. You know, if he's do the other intangibles and stuff like that, I'm cool with that. But the problem is he's not doing the intangible as far as the rebounding part. And the points, yeah, he gets 17 points, 18, 20 points. Yo, I'm cool with that. You know what I'm saying? That's a good thing. He's only a 4th option. So, I mean, the points he's averaging is great. It's just like when I watch the game, it's his effort level, man. It's like he's almost, and he's not just him. Other than Josh Hart and probably Towns or something, like these guys will play with low energy, man. Brunson at some point too, but it's like we got to pick up the pace on offense and be much more, up tempo or something like that. You know what I'm saying? And to be even better. I just think the Knicks play just so slow and stuff like that. You see it in on defense on transition. They get back. They don't even get back on defense. A guy could shoot a 3-point shot and and people behind him. You're the guy who shot a 3-point shot. How you're not back? You know what I'm saying? So that tells me the effort level is not there on defense. They just not. It's like, bro, you got to be the first one back, especially if you out on the perimeter. You got to, and especially if you got like guards like Hart, Brunson, Bridges. They got to be the first guys back. The smaller guys be the first back on defense to at least help a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I could understand a big man being a little bit slow to get back, but these guys got to hustle back on defense. You know what I'm saying? And as far as Mikal Bridges, like I said, so far in the season, like I said, me personally, like I said, I'm cool with Mikal Bridges. It's like I said, just watching some games, man, it's just like his shots. Like I said, he takes 3-point shots, which is cool. If you hit them, you make them set. But me, it's just the fadeaway shots. Stop fading away on your jump shots. Those are low percentage shots. Go strong. That's what I'm saying. Go strong with your shots. Try to make them shots. When you fade away, you're doing a little bit more to, you know what I'm saying, to make your shot much tougher than what it really is. You're long. If you're long, you're going to get a lot of fouls because when you go straight up, they're going to hit your arms. You see what I'm saying? You're going to go to the free throw line. But if you fade away, you bailing them out. You know what I'm saying? And especially if you get a guard on you, like sometimes like you might have like TJ McConnell on you. Man, don't bail that dude out. Post him up. Go in the post and go in there and go strong. Don't fade away in the jump shot. You know what I'm saying? Like I said with Mikal, if he can up his rebound, man, because right now they got him averaging like 3 rebounds. I don't believe that for 1 second. Because like I said, I could go back in the game logs and see like 1 rebound, 2 rebounds. So he's like, bro, we need like I said, RJ Barrett was here. RJ Barrett averaged 6 or 7 rebounds every game. You saw it on the stats. He might have like 20 points. Even when he wasn't shooting good, he still was rebounding, 9 rebounds, 8 rebounds. And that's what I'm saying. Rebounding is an important part of defense. And that's what your calling card is, defense. I don't care so much about the offense. I need you to do what your calling card is, defense. That's what you're here for. It might not be the block shots. It's like get rebounds, deflections, steals, all that stuff. Play good defense. That's what I'm saying. And like I said, even if you don't touch the ball, something like on the offensive end, that shouldn't affect you on the defensive end. If you're a defensive player, that's what you do. That's what you do. You know what I'm saying? Be strong on that part. The only person I could say on this Knicks team that give effort like that is Josh Hart. If more guys will play with Josh Hart's energy and level, we would be much better. That guy gives it all. He hustles on things like that. He rebounds. He put his body in the way for people and things like that. He's in there banging with it. I mean, he's in there getting rebounds against 7-footers. You know what I'm saying? That's where OG Anunoby's supposed to be at. And OG's a bigger player than Josh Hart. You know what I'm saying? Them guys got to play stronger. And that's what he's saying. Like, they got to play stronger. Mikal, OG, they got to play much stronger. That's where our weakness is in the starting line is the forward position is the weakness on the team. Those guys are not bringing it. They have to pick up their level of play. And like I said, that's because if Mitch comes back, they can move back to their natural position, but they got to pick up their level of play to help Towns and Josh Hart. You're overworking these dudes. These dudes are getting like 17, 18 rebounds, and you only getting 1 or 2 rebounds. If you get 6 or 7 rebounds, they don't have to get as many rebounds. Put your body in the way. You know what I'm saying? You got to get the rebounds. Rebounding stops second chance points from the other team. And also, like I said, it also lessens you of getting in foul trouble. Because if you keep letting these teams get second chance rebound, you're going to get in foul trouble a lot, because now you have to play 24 seconds. You got to play another 24 seconds again. And then you know what happens. You're going to reach in. You're going to do something. You're going to get more foul call. So it's like, hey, just stop it and just nip it in the butt. You know what I'm saying? Just do it. That's all I'm going to say for them. Those are the two things I got on those two guys is the rebounding on their end. That's all they got to do, the rebounding part. You know what I'm saying? With Mikal Bridges. So, I mean, like I said, the Bridges thing, like I said, I'm not so much worried about it because the draft picks are going to turn out to be low first round picks anyway. Now, if we was a lottery team, I'd be pissed off. Because every time you always know the Knicks from the past was giving away lottery picks. All the picks was lottery picks, turning out to be like LaMarcus Aldridge, Joakim Noah, and all that type of stuff. And I'm like, yo, what the, you know what I'm saying? But I can't be mad like that.
Then you got to look at what our need was. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
A player to keep holding on to those picks and not being able to do nothing with those picks was, you know. So
yeah, they become useless after a while if like you keep holding on to the picks. It's nothing.
I mean, some of those picks was our picks. Some of the picks was our picks, and then you have Milwaukee picking. You know, so I mean,
all right.
When we winning. And Bridges only had one rebound. Ain't nobody complaining when we winning and he only had one rebound.
I'm still complaining.
But we won the game.
Said, yeah, even if we win the game, I'm still complaining because the way I look at it is like, bro, you got to help out on that part, man. That's like I said, it's not like you're making a jump shot. That's the easy part. That's effort, bro. That's all it is. It's just effort. Just go get the ball. But how many times you seen in the game where a rebound comes off and nobody goes to the ball and it just bounces in the middle? And it's like, if it's not hard or Towns getting the ball, it's like, bro, you're right there. Go get the rebound. I mean, come on, man.
You know what this team don't do? Asgard, this team don't do a good job of taking advantage of mismatch. They don't do that. And that's part of that. If you watch the game, that's how guys get frozen out. You know what I mean? Like when you playing against the Hawks, right? And you saw this when we put. If he's guarding Mikal Bridges, there's no way that Bridges should get the ball every time down the court. Every time. When who's the center? Who was the center for what's the dude name that was played the center for the Hawks the last game right before the break?
You talking about Okongwu?
If he's guarding Cat, why are we not going to him every time down the floor? You see what I'm saying? We make the game more difficult than what it is. If he got Porzingis on him. We know Porzingis. Why you not taking him to the hole? Why Porzingis is at his strength when he's out there making you shoot threes. Because now he ain't got to move his feet. He ain't got to do nothing. You understand what I'm saying? We ain't putting him in foul trouble. We ain't doing none of the above. They have to take advantage of these mismatches that we constantly keep getting time and time again. And I think that we'll be all right. That's why I don't nitpick. But like, that is me. You know how I am as God.
But I keep saying they don't take advantage of it. They've been doing it ever since Tibbs been here. Is this Tibbs type of offense though? Because we didn't do it when Barrett and them guys was here too. That's what I'm saying. It's like Barrett with the Hawks. It's like, yo, post Trae Young up, man. It's like, yo, come on. It's like, what are you doing? We're not taking advantage. It's like, but I don't know what Tibbs is like, yo. Some coaches have been like, hey, take advantage of the opportunity. We got to take the mismatch. Even if, like I said, you post them up, if they double team you, now somebody's going to be open. That's going to open up your offense because they're going to send a double team. They're going to send a double team if they post trade. They're going to send a double team. They ain't going to let them just like keep a back and Trae Young down and nobody comes over. So you're going to that's what you want them to do, to send a double team so you can pass to the open man so they can get some shots and break down their defense.
And that was the game that Trae Young, that was the game that we kind of like blew the Hawks out, right? That was the game that he had a good game because Trae Young ain't do too much, right? Because his legs is not there because he had to play defense. You can't play, you can't, it's hard to be a two-way player. I keep telling everybody that. People like, yo, two-way player, it's hard to go play defense on the other team's best player, then have to come turn around and then you have the ball in your hand and have to score on offense. It's hard to do that. That's why only a handful of players can really, really do that in the league. So there's only a handful that can really, that's hard to do. We all play ball. That's hard to do. You got to take some possessions off because you're going to be tired. But for them guys that can do it, that's the reason why they can do it because they don't need to take no possessions off. Knicks just got to feed the mismatch, man.
Yo,
Yeah,
L was talking about Porzingis. They had Tatum on Cat.
I think Tatum is a better defender than Porzingis out there on the post, the way how they have out there on the perimeter.
No,
Not
he's
in the
talking
post,
about,
out there.
in the post. He's talking about in the post when Tatum was on Cat. They should have fed that mismatch.
Yeah, that's when exactly. That's when they supposed to win to when he had Tatum on him, right? Then you don't go, and then when he get it, you play small,
Right.
as opposed to playing big. There's no way that how they can stop Cat. Let's just be real, right? We all play ball, like I just said.
Mm-hmm.
You can't. The laws of physics says you cannot stop that big man. So how is that possible? Because Cat plays small at that time. If he don't play small and he keep that ball where he's supposed to keep it, how they can't do nothing with that?
But you know
what I think.
But you know what I think. So also NBA is allowing a lot of defensive 3 seconds to clog up those lanes, man. They just letting guys just stay in the lane without guarding nobody, man. Clogging up the lanes.
I gotta pay attention to that one. I gotta pay attention to that.
No, I know, and we be talking about it's like, yo, where's the defensive 3 seconds? It's like they guarding nobody, man. The guards are all about the 3-point line, and they just clogging up the paint. And also, I was like, bro, come on, man. We need the paint open. That's why we want the paint open. So we ain't gonna talk about Mitch because Mitch ain't been here all year and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? But we already know what we're gonna give Mitch. But we just gonna do the bench as a whole. You know, so you can just like talk about any players on the bench and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? If you want to talk about, you know, Precious, Deuce McBride, Shamit, you know, Cameron Payne and stuff like that. How you feel about our bench and stuff like that, which is not a strength this year because, like I said, it's been decimated because of the trades and stuff like that. So this is what we got with these guys. We got to go forward with these guys, and then I think this week or next week is supposed to be some buyouts, right? I think teams are buying players out. I think it's March, so we'll see what happens on that front. You know what I'm saying? As far as who's going to be available to help out, because we're going to need some more bench guys or something like that, man. But as far as, like I said, and I know me and D, we do the game all the time, and you know, I'll be looking at our benches are one of our biggest weakness on the team is like the bench scoring and all that stuff, because these other teams are coming in and scoring like 40 points off the bench on a regular. We coming in with like 15 points at 9 points. It's like that ain't gonna cut it, man. But like I said, our bench used to be our strength like 3-4 years ago. Our bench was like a bench mob. Now we don't have them guys no more. So now we just got like a ragtag bunch right now, and that's why I be saying like when the players come in, you know, like D said, they're not coming in like all like playing together. They coming in staggered with the starters in the game. So then it's almost like the starters are taking the shots away from them guys too. So the shots that they get, and I'd be like, you got to make them shots that you get. But then, like I said, they're not going to be in rhythm because they're cold, because they don't know when they're going to get the ball. You know, when you got them guys, the starters in there, compared to like if it's just bench players in there where anybody know the name. You know, if it's just bench players, you can get your shot, do whatever you got to do. But like I said, for my bench, like I said, man, I know it's going to be hard, but if we can get we got to get at least like 20-some points off the bench, man. I mean, listen, 20, 25 or 30 points, that would be a godsend. But, you know, these guys got to make the most of their advantage and stuff like that. Cameron Payne, Shamit, Deuce, he's shooting much better this season. And, you know what I'm saying, his shots, like I said, every time he shoots a 3-point shot, I'm thinking it's going in because, you know what I'm saying, he don't work on his shot. You know what I'm saying? And then with Deuce, like I said, I even noticed Deuce, like I said, to me, his defense to me has regressed. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't like, when he first came to the Knicks, he was more of like a defensive, like a TJ McConnell and all that type of stuff. He was very, very aggressive. And it's like, but now you look at when he come in the game, it's like, he's not really like that on the defense like that no more. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if I'm not going to say it's Tibbs or not, but it's like, I don't know what it is, man, but he's not as aggressive like he used to be, like being a pest and things like that. Now, I would like to see, like I said, when Mitch comes back and him and Mitch is playing in the game on the pick and roll, they put him in there to see how they, you know, on the pick and roll, you know, they good on the pick and roll defense. You know what I'm saying? But as far as that, like I said, man, Precious Achiuwa, like I said, last year in the playoffs and before he was great too in the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? This season he's been good too, but some games have there's a lot of underwhelming games for him this season, you know what I'm saying, compared to last year. Last year was like Precious Achiuwa was getting like a double when he was coming up in there, you know what I'm saying? It's like I was like, oh man, you know what I'm saying? But now this season, I know he came back from the injury and stuff like that, but it ain't been too much. Like I said, he gets rebounds too and stuff like that, but he's been getting outworked sometimes when you watch the games and stuff like that. And like me and D said, between him and OG and Obi, they got the worst hands of their hands are like concrete hands or something. I don't know with the ball like that's, you know what I'm saying? So with Precious, like I said, you know, but I mean, he only getting paid like what, $5-6 million. So I mean, it is what it is with him. Like I said, I mean, is he a good depth piece for us? Yeah, he's a good depth piece for us and stuff like that. So I'm not too he get paying peanuts and stuff like that. So, you know, Can he help us? I mean, I would like for him to help us a little bit more, but hey, it is what it is. But like I said, when Mitch comes back, that's who, he gets back healthy and stuff like that. That's who we're going to bank on more, what I'm saying, for that. Which go out then, but with Precious, it rubs off too sometimes, man. Guys are playing good. He comes in, he's going to play good too, what I'm saying, next to like a guy like Mitch too and stuff like that. So it's all good. And like I said, Landry Shamet, I know he's been off and on sometimes. Like I said, he's a shooter and stuff like that. But what I'm saying is like he getting some good looks. He's not making some of them, or he's making some of them. So like, they just got to pick up their play off the bench. Cameron Payne, that side shot, 3-point shot. What I'm saying? He be getting that stuff going when he's hot. He's hot. And like I was that 3 games ago when he was real aggressive. I remember one play. I think he scored about 12 points in a row or 10 points in a row. He was going to the hole and just scoring. I was like, I want to see more of that. Cameron Payne be aggressive. And also like Deuce when they come and be aggressive, you know what I'm saying? Just like pick up their level of play, you know what I'm saying? But as far as, like I said, our bench was like, that's one of the weakness on our team, but it's not due to, and the rookies, Ariel Hook-Porty, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, he looked like he's going to be a good player. I mean, he just needs more time and more experience to play, game experience to play, because he's an aggressive player for a rookie. Tyler Kolek, the point guard, you know what I'm saying? When he comes in his little garbage time, he do a little good and stuff like that. They should play him a little bit more too. Pakim Dade, for some reason, he ain't playing too much as the wing player and stuff like that. I know he was hurt. He just came back and stuff like that. But I think those rookies really can help us and stuff like that. Tibbs just got to open up the bench a little bit more and stuff like that. He should have did it early in the season, so these guys won't be playing too many minutes to starters and stuff like that. Because now towards the end of the season, you don't want to run these guys into the ground and stuff like that. You could have used these rookies a lot more, especially when we had 20-point leads in games and blowing teams out. You should have been took those guys out and bring the bench in and stuff like that, especially when we got back-to-back games. When we got on back-to-back, these guys playing 45 minutes, and they got to play the next night. You know what I'm saying? So going into the playoffs, we got to limit that stuff, man. And, like I said, our bench scoring got to get a lot better. But like I said, we'll see what happens on the buyout market. So that's what I got on the bench. So I'll let D go, and then L, you all after D. How you feel about the bench?
To me, the bench is lackluster. You don't know what you're going to get from the bench night in, night out. As far as Precious, we talked about this. Listen, his hands could be a lot better, but I think you have him playing a tougher role when bringing him in, being a backup center and so forth on. So, I mean, there's a lot of pressure you're putting on him. I think, like you said, with Mitchell coming back, I think our second unit is going to play better. As far as, because then the rotations will be different a little bit more. Deuce has stepped up for a young player. Like you said, he used to be a lot pestier on defense. He's lackluster than a motherfucker now to me. But he's undersized. He's got to be more pesky. He's got to play the ball a lot more. But Deuce has stepped up as far as his shot. I believe in his shot. He plays hard most of the nights. Again, I don't know if he's dealing with injuries and fighting through injuries or not.
Right.
Campaign, if he's squared up a lot more, I think his shot will be a lot better. But listen, I'll take it sideways for the most part, as long as he's dropping them.
Right.
Shamet, listen, I love Shamet as a reserve. I would like for him to get more minutes. But again, I don't know where that fits in with this Tibbs offense or whatever you call it.
Read and react.
Well, listen, like El was saying, if he's part of the offense, that's what I was saying to you. If our starters are still in the game, then our reserves are not part of the offense to me. They're just relief plays that's coming in, giving rest minutes for those starters that was in the games long period of time. So they're just in there, like you said, for the hustle plays and for rebound.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it comes out to be. And to me, that's why I always would tell you, that's what it looks like. Shamet or sometimes Campaign to come in and do, or he's taking more shots, but just more or less Shamet. Hook-Porty the same way. I think he should have been playing a lot more from the jump. If they knew they was going to do Sims the way they did Sims, they should have been playing him a lot more.
Mm-hmm.
You can help, and again, you got the top. Our starting lineup is the top echelon of minutes played from the start of the season. Why? Because his ass don't play our reserves. So now when these dudes start having injuries towards now of the season, who are you gonna blame that on? The season? Or that you didn't use the reserves, the Spillies dudes.
Right.
You think what I'm saying? Now you got talent
Mm-hmm.
with an injury. Now you're gonna have to play these dudes. Like that hurts your squad now. They should have been getting minutes way before just to see what they have, to see what your roster will look like with these dudes in the game. Now you're forced into that. So I don't blame the bench. I blame how the coach is coaching the team to let your reserves come in to be reserves. These other teams like Wiggins and Joe, and I see them coming in. Them dudes is like, yo, these dudes are gonna be doubled. I'm sitting in the corner waiting for that pass to shoot this open three and making them.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they're getting. You know what I mean? So, like, listen, we don't know what we have because we ain't playing those dudes, and those dudes is not. Those dudes is towns to get double teamed and run right through the double team. Fuck though, open guy. Sometimes Brunson is the same way. He's just trying to get fouled to go to the line. If he gets a turnover, it's like fuck it, we running back on D.
Mm-hmm.
So listen, I think we have, with like I said, with Mitchell coming back, that second lineup will look a lot different.
Mm-hmm.
Even with him playing with Towns or however he's going to run that unit. Yo, like I said, I'm interested to see what he's going to do differently, if not, if anything.
Okay. Well,
Our bench is our bench. It's okay, just not good enough. That's my thing on the bench. It's like we need more. And I like all the players. I think they all coming in, they do their job.
mm-hmm.
I wasn't feeling Shamit. I'm happy he started hitting his shot. I'm happy he started hitting his shot. You made a good point, D, when you were saying that getting Mitch back allows you to have a different lineup. One of the things that we don't see that we used to see, Escott, from when you talk about the bench and how our bench used to be our strength, was we had RJ with the bench. RJ used to be with the bench. You know what I mean? So that's what allowed the bench
Quickly.
quickly. So that's what it kind of threw the bench. It kind of made the bench be better than what it was because you had him playing with the bench guys. So the numbers look different. The numbers look different. It would, they counted him as a starter. They didn't count him or you know what I mean? But he got his numbers with the bench. He got his numbers with the bench. And I think that's what McHale need to do. He need to get his numbers with the bench. When he's out there, he has to demand the ball. He has to let Cameron Payne know, I'm the dude. Give me the ball. Let me bring it up, Cameron Payne. You don't bring the ball up so you can come up and you can chuck and and shoot sideways because you got the ball in your head. We don't need that. You understand what I'm saying? That's what happened. That's what happened. That's what he do, right? He got the ball. He got the ball. So I just think they need to just take the ball out of his hand. And I'm not knocking Cameron Payne. The bench, all the guys on the bench play good. One of the things about the I think it's March 1st deadline that hopefully they'll be able to sign TJ Warren. I like how he looked all year. I think that
From the G League.
I think he'll give us more than what Shamit gives us. You know what I mean? So I think he has to, Shamit, you might have to take a little seat there, buddy. You know what I mean? I just think TJ Warren, he a scorer, and I think he'll add that scoring punch to the bench. Sort of like what when we brought Burks and Bogdanovich back last year to add to that scoring to the bench. So once we get Mitch back, gotta open it up, like D said, that'll open up the bench. I don't have a problem with the guys individually. I just have a problem with them as a whole. I just think that we don't do enough, as a whole to put our stamp on the game. Some games they have good games and some games they don't. They just inconsistent. I think that's the problem with the bench. They inconsistent.
Right.
Even when they do like Deuce to have a good game, then Payne to have a good game. You know what I mean? But it's not too many times where they'll have a good game together where you could say the bench scored 40-something points. It's like McBride, he started. So is he part of the bench? Because he had 19 points in the starting unit. Cameron Payne, he had 19 points coming off the bench because McBride was in the starting unit. So It's things like that. Just inconsistent. Just be more consistent, guys. That's what I ask for the bench. I don't have a problem with the bench as
Okay.
players, individual.
All right. So the last one is going to be solutions, man. What do you think the solution is going to be for this team, for the rest of the season and going forward, man, as far as like the rotation, things like that, especially with Mitch coming back and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? Then, when you get near the playoffs, you have rotations and stuff like that. Or you think if that's going to strengthen the bench or like you said, the buyouts coming out, who knows, or who they're going to add and will that put some guys back on the bench? Like, if like Bridges or Hart will go on the bench or something like that. It depends on because if Mitch comes in the start line, somebody got to go to the bench. Once he gets back, like first when he comes back, he's going to be on minute restrictions. He going to be coming off the bench, but eventually when it's going to ramp up more minutes and stuff like that towards like the end of the season for the playoff. Then if Mitch gets in that starting lineup, it's probably going to be Mitch, Cat, what I'm saying, OG, Bridges, and Brunson, or it could be Hart and Brunson. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? So, but then, what I'm saying, with stuff like that, then it's like, you're going to need that bench for the playoffs and stuff like that. Cause you can't run the starters in the ground. You know what I'm saying? So, but like I said, man, as far as solutions, man, I think, like I said, I think it's going to see more staggered, starters with the bench and all that type of stuff. So hopefully you can have like 9 players playing instead of like some games. I remember we only played like 2 players off the bench. Like 7 players. I was like, bro, you got to do like 9, at least 9 players, man, to give these guys a breather. And then, in the playoffs, the what you call is even the adrenaline rush is even more because there's more pressure in the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it ain't the regular season where it's like laid back and the pressure, those teams step their game up like, 10-fold. So you really got to bring your A game in the playoffs. That takes a lot out of you. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to need some more players and things like that. But I think with Mitch coming back, that's going to be a great thing. Like I said, to help Cat, you know what I'm saying, to make us longer. Because like I said, we need some more size though, especially in the starting lineup. If you had Cat and Mitch in there and an Obi at the 3, that's a lot of size right there. You know what I'm saying? Because Mitch, like I said, Mitch is a beast, man. Guys can't handle that dude. That dude, like he kills like 2 dudes in a post. It don't even matter who's on 2 on him. Hell, Embiid was having problems with him when he was playing. You know what I'm saying? Embiid is a big dude. You know what I'm saying? He got some big, size to him. So, like I said, against the Cavs, man, with Allen and Mobley, I don't even care about them 2 dudes. When Mitch is playing, Mitch is healthy. He can neutralize those 2 dudes by himself, man, like he did like a couple of years ago and stuff like that. Because Mitch, that's a grown man right there. That's a beast right there. And when Mitch is healthy, that's a beast right there. He control them boys. He control that paint. You know what I'm saying? We're going to need that. So if you got Cat in there, Mitch in there, getting them rebounds like that, and Josh Hart, that's a lot of rebounds. And like I said, them other guys step up, whoever's in there, and then OB, Bridges, whatever. It's like, that's what we're going to limit these teams to one and done. The more you can make them a one and done, the more you're going to have a success in the playoffs and stuff like that. But like I said, with that, man, he needs, like I said, right now towards the end of the season, needs to play these guys a little bit more. Porty needs to play a little bit more too. And that's another guy that could help us in the playoffs. So play him now so that way he can get some more experience. So that way when the playoff comes, he don't be like a deer in headlights. You know what I'm saying? Play him now because you're going to need him in case of foul troubles with these guys so that way he can be ready. You know what I'm saying? Don't just keep playing Mitch and Cat. Play this dude too, you know what I'm saying, to give him some, some breathing room and stuff like that. So, because we're going to need that guy. Because if somebody gets hurt and go down, we need that guy to be we need to be ready for the playoffs, not be a deer in headlights when the time comes in. And, you know what I'm saying, you just don't him like, oh, my God. You know what I'm saying? He just have to go in there because we don't have nobody. So just play that guy. Like I said, he's an aggressive player. He dunks everything. If he gets it in low, he dunks it. I mean, you see when he blocks shots. I mean, he almost want to throw that stuff into the stands or whatever. You know what I'm saying? He's an aggressive player. So I think, and nothing with Tibbs, man, Tibbs just got to, like I said, he got to get better in the playoffs as far as coaching and stuff like that, make more adjustments and things like that. You know what I'm saying? Limit these guys' minutes and give these guys a breather. We need our starters fresh for the 4th quarter, man. Take these guys out in the 3rd quarter. Play them a little bit less in the 3rd quarter, towards the end of the 3rd quarter, like 4 minutes left to go. Start pulling them guys out and rest them guys because, the 4th quarter, you're going to play them a lot. So bring them in like 9 minutes into the 4th quarter or something like that because they're going to finish out the game. So that way we won't be gassed at the end. Our starters won't be gassed. And that's what I'm saying with Tibbs and the solutions and stuff like that. So, I'll listen to you guys talk and stuff. I'll let Worldwide and D go. Yeah, you on mute. I got you.
Listen, TJ Warren is a good acquisition. I told that before about coming back. I think he would take
who be? I hear you. Who?
Warren, TJ Warren.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's going to take minutes from Precious if he comes back because he's a better offensive player and a bigger, stronger dude that could play that position. Yo, I'm telling you, that second unit, we got to look at it. It's going to look. I don't think they're going to start. I don't think. It only depends on the matchup if Mitchell Robinson is going to start or not. He would be a good guy to start him against Cleveland. It'd be a bad matchup to me in a Boston series because you will want more of a you will want him to come off the bench to play Porzingis 1-on-1 or straight up or whatever, or even if they run Cornette and then you can
Horford
and like something like that. But even then, I think
hold on for a second. Cornette, what the fuck is
I know. Yo, that name is just like in the Boston series. I know, man. I've been laughing about that too. It's like Luke freaking Cornette. Are you serious? What? Luke Cornette.
Calling out names, but these are Nick killers. We just watched the game.
Why you couldn't do that when you was part of the team? You couldn't even get in the game on a garbage squad.
Cornette?
Yeah. Why you couldn't do that when he was with us?
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Now he wants to be a what you call it, right?
No, this dude was giving the team extra rebounds. He's hitting open. Like, come on, dude. Like, those are buckets that from trash players like that. When you're definitely getting out rebounded by a guy like that, you're like, what the? Yo, shouldn't even be in existence. But as you watch that game, yo, you're seeing what is there. So extra size for bringing Mitch in on that lineup, yo, then we're not worried about him getting no boards. Mitch is all over that. We weren't about him getting putbacks. Mitch is all over on top of him. You dig what I'm saying? So those things, when those are the solutions that the Knicks have to solving, and then Cat won't have to play those minutes. Josh won't have to. He could play more harder on defense than worrying about getting extra rebounds. You know what I mean? Having that extra guy to rebound, is a plus, but then he don't have to work harder. Those minutes, if they move him to the bench or vice whatever, he's another guy coming in off the bench that could give you quality minutes versus what you're getting now. So that'd change the whole depth of our bench point. You know what I mean? Everything will evolve. TJ Warren, if Tibbs plays him, he could give you quality minutes if he plays him. You know what I mean? It's only based on him and how he works that lineup. To me, he still shouldn't be playing these guys more than 30 minutes a game. If he wants them to be good for the playoffs, we should limit these guys' minutes. Towns is already coming off a knee injury. Next game, we don't have to against the Sixers. Play him 20 minutes.
Yeah, I think Mitch might make his debut tomorrow night. I think
they're gonna save Mitch for the weekend.
Yeah, they're saying all indications he playing tomorrow night.
Yeah, I think he's gonna play tomorrow
night. That's what they're saying. Yeah, all indications saying he might.
But he's gonna be a minutes. He's gonna be in a minutes restriction anyway, so it don't matter. So,
but my thing is, do we really? Like I said to you, do we really need him against the Sixers? If you want to come back and get some minutes in, I guess it's better to get.
Bring him back.
I mean, you want more minutes to start shaking this rust off, and you're playing little minutes and stuff like that. So
So
even if it's for like 7 minutes, just bring him back. Let him get. It's a difference between practice and game time. So give him a little 7 minutes. Get out there. You know what I mean? Don't put him out there. Is Drummond still playing for the Sixers?
Be huffing and puffing.
Drummond still playing for the Sixers?
Yeah, Drummond still on the Sixers. Yeah, he's still on the Sixers.
Yeah, don't put him out there with Drummond. Don't put him out there with nobody that can hurt him.
Hopefully Embiid don't play.
Why Sabelli?
They say Embiid might be done, y'all.
He might get the surgery and be done for the season.
What they saying the surgery may consist of? He might be done.
Done for what? Just this season?
It's like it's gonna be a while. He ain't gonna be the same player at all.
Oh, so that means a major, huh?
It's not a major. It's like that knee don't got nothing there no more. So now you're talking about taking parts from here and there. You know what I mean?
Back in the day, the worst surgery was that microfracture surgery. You know what I'm saying? When guys
Yeah,
lost that
but it's
micro,
been
but
the
I haven't
holes.
heard
It's been the holes.
I haven't heard that in a long time. Microfracture. I haven't heard that in a long time. I don't even know if they still do that, but because I remember they used to take a lot from the players and stuff like that when the recovery.
All the players that had that, yeah. I think Alonzo Ball had something like that, and that's when they had to go back in there and then do it all over again. They had to go back in there and do the knee replacement or whatever they did to him. So he back. So, but the thing with Embiid is he was 7-something.
Yeah, and he had the weight. He carried a lot of weight on that frame, man. He carries a lot of weight on that frame.
Yeah, I mean, you know, my solution to this to the rest of the season is drown out the outside noise, drown out the distractions, the podcast, the ESPNs and the commentators, drown all that out. Lace your sneakers up, play ball, finish the season out on a strong note. You know what I mean? And then reach the playoffs and see what happens. You know, see what happens. Because at that point, everybody starts zip. 0-0.
Everybody 0-0.
0-0. Just got to make it there. Once you make it there, then it's anybody's game.
Yeah.
So just drown out the distractions. We don't need no noise right now. Y'all 0-7 against the top echelon teams in the league. That means nothing. Nothing. Y'all remember the year where we beat the Miami Heat and we want to play the Miami Heat in the playoffs.
Right.
It means nothing. Now something this year means something. It always meant nothing that a team lose to this team or whatever, but they don't look good against this team. Because come playoff time, you got teams and players nowadays that'll sit out. Not worried about them. I'm sitting out this game.
Who would you rather the Knicks see?
I don't care who they see. I'm always one. I don't care who they play. I'm always been that one because I play ball, so we never worried about who they. We never worried about the competition. You go out there, you play your game. So that's how I play ball coming up. So we never looked at what that team did or what they could do or who was playing on that team. We went out there and we played ball. So I don't look at it. It's no such thing as an easy route or easy way, an easy ticket to the finals. Everybody got to play ball. Everybody got to play ball.
It just depends on who's in that sixth spot because we in that third spot, so it could be Orlando or somebody like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you mess around and wish for the wrong opponent and get sent home in the first round. That's why you just play the game.
Right.
Yo, Tim said this early in the season when we played against Detroit the first game and we beat them. But he was like, "That's a good team over there." He called that a good team way early in the beginning of the season. Way in the beginning of the season, 5-6 games into the season, he called that a good team. Look at that, because they see things different than how us as fans see things. So everybody looking at, that's Detroit. So right away, that's going to be a garbage team. Proved everybody wrong. They one of their players went down. They just kept it moving. You know what I mean? It was like next man up mentality. Change the coach, change the morale, and now you got a winning attitude over there. Same players, different morale. Same players, different morale. And now they winning.
Yeah, and them guys been together too for like 3 years. Orlando, same way with them. A lot of these teams just been together for a second. You know what I'm saying? That's the difference. So, when they've been together, it's like, they learn, they take losing, but they learn from it and stuff like that. And they're a much tougher team, and they're a gritty team. And that's another thing. You play a lot of grit and determination and hustle, you're gonna win a lot of games in the NBA. Say if you play hard.
If you're the Cavs, you want to play. I know the Magic is struggling because you got the players coming back. Right, the players is coming back, so they kind of like they off. But these next couple of games, they're going to try to get it right going into the playoffs. If you the Cavs, or if you the Cavs, would you want to play them in the first round, knowing that that's a rematch from last year first round?
Right, to play the Magics, right? Yeah, that's a which goal because the Magics are a good defensive team. Like I said, their games, I see a lot of games that look like it's high scoring in the first half, but that second half, man, them dudes be like the final score be like 105, 103. I'm like, wait a minute. They had like 70 points at halftime.
That's why you go out there, you just play ball. You can't worry about that. See, people may look at the Magic and say, "Oh, they was front runners." Nah, they players got hurt. You got two of their key players got hurt. One came back, the other one came back, and now they trying to figure it out, on the fly now with 20-something games left. Let them figure it out, and then you play against them. I wouldn't want to play against them. I wouldn't want to play against the Bulls, right? As crazy as that sound, I wouldn't want to play against them because of Vucevic. I told you about that pick and pop. That's when unless we get Mitch back and he to his where he's supposed to be.
I don't want to play with house money. They playing with house money.
I don't want to play against the Pacers with Turner because if he hit a shot, he start hitting them threes, we in trouble. Not what Halliburton do. What's what Turner does.
You forgot about somebody on the Bulls. You forgot about Kobe White.
No, I don't worry about Kobe. I worry about the big man. It's the big man. I know. So it's the big man. It's the big man I worry about. Them bigs that can hit the three is what it's the teams I worry about.
Sorry,
everybody else can get it.
We're gonna wrap it up, man. Man, I want to thank you guys for coming through, man, for this Knicks talk, man. So any final words like from Worldwide L, and then D, I'll let you do your final words, and then we'll get up out of here.
I just want Knicks fans around the world. Just be patient. Pump y'all brakes. Y'all been patient all this time, and y'all had no choice but to wait. And now y'all get to it's like y'all get to the finish line and don't know how to cross the finish line. It's sitting right there in front of us. Just be patient. We're gonna cross the finish line. You know, don't throw it all away over a couple of games. And want to fire Tibbs and the pigs and this, that, and the third. Like, nah, there's no such thing as minutes police. Leave that alone. No one cares about them, man. I don't care about look, B, I don't care about how I don't care. I never cared about minutes. I just feel like when you blowing the team out, I want to see the subs. That's old school. That's old school. You blowing the team out, you let your foot off the gas, you show the other team some respect, and you throw your subs in the gas. That's the only time I want to see the subs. You know what I mean? Other than that, I don't care about them. I don't care about if it's a close game and they play 38 minutes. So I don't get shit. That's what you get paid to do. These niggas is getting paid millions of dollars. I don't want to hear nothing about no damn minutes. I don't want to hear nothing about minutes. Nothing about minutes. Nothing about minutes. I'm on my feet. I'm on my feet 8 hours a goddamn day. I don't get paid nothing. Nothing that they get paid. And I go in there with a smile on my face every day. Every day, D. I'm a chef. I'm on my feet every day. Every day, 8 hours. No sit down, on my feet all day. The minute I walk through the door to the minute I get in my car, that's the only time I sit down. So I'm not worried about no minutes. So what they play 35, 36 minutes, that's what I get paid for. Suck it up. I don't care.
He said you don't care. All right, D.
Yeah.
Yo, you have to be conscientious of the minutes. With those minutes, that's why OG was out last year. You know why? Because we burnt him the hell out. He came back too soon with a hamstring injury. The problem is, look, we got a couple of players doing way too much. Like I said, Josh Hart just had a knee injury. If he's not playing all those minutes and able to rest, then his knee wouldn't be hurting as much. Towns. If we're resting him more or had players where we could rest him, then we're not worried about him going into the playoffs with a knee injury. Listen, you're absolutely right. I love the game. You love the game. You want to be out there to grind it out as much as you can. But the reality is, you gotta be the person that's smarter. Like as a parent, you're not gonna let your kid just run across the street because he's fast. You're going to be like, nah, you got to look both ways. It's no different than the coach coaching these dudes. I know you want to play 40 minutes, but if I could rest you and not have you be injured going into the playoffs, you reap the benefit of it. You dig what I'm saying? You're stronger, you're faster, you have more energy, the whole nine. I'm like you. I'm an electrician. I'm on my feet 15, 16 hours a day. So you're right.
Ain't no crying. No crying.
No crime involved. But again, I have to look at it like when you want more out of a player, if he doesn't have that rest or he's playing tired, you're not getting his best. You're not getting his best. You know that if you don't get a good sleep, you're not at your best going to work.
What statistics do we have to go off of about the minutes, right? The only statistics we got to go off if Tibbs' own statistics. That's what they keep comparing him to his own self. Like that doesn't make sense to me. But there's other players in the league that average minutes. Oh, we got 5 players that's averaging 30-something minutes a game. Once it averages a lot of minutes in a game, let's go out there and play the game. You can get hurt. You can get hurt playing 5 minutes in the game. You can get hurt going out there playing 1 minute. A hamstring is I feel like that's like when you don't stretch. That's usually a baseball injury. Very seldom do you see it in basketball because the guys is warm. They're warm. That happened to OG. Wasn't that the first quarter when he pulled his hamstring? It was the first quarter of that Pacers game, right? The first quarter, right? The game just started. So that's what happens with hamstring. Doesn't have anything to do with overusage. It has something to do with not being warm. You know what I mean? That's why baseball players get it, because they constantly, you see them in the outfield, they constantly stretching to stay loose, to stay warm, because they had a time where they had a standstill. Then you got to go from that standstill and then kick it down 100 miles an hour going down first base, or kick it 100 miles an hour trying to catch that fly ball in the outfield. And that's how they pop their hammies. So it's not from overwork. It's from the uses of not stretching, not being warm. You know what I mean? And letting your muscles calm down. That's where the hammies come from. So it's no science out there that says what Tibbs is doing is gonna hurt the team. They only commentators say that. I always go back to the movie with Will Smith, right, D? It was the movie, I can't remember the name, where they kept putting the number 7. They kept putting the number 7. So all day the dude saw 7, and he ended up gambling on 7 because he kept seeing that number all day. So they put these things in front of us because they want us to believe that. So the commentators who have nothing else to report on, they talk about the minutes. And next thing you know, everybody on social media is talking about the minutes because that's what they want you to do. That's how they generate. That's how they generate content, talking about the minutes. But there's no science that says that. So we want to go and talk about back in the days, talk about the golden era, the 90s. It was no such thing as minute restrictions then. So why are we talking about minute restriction now when we got players taking days off because they don't feel like playing? That's why we're talking about minute restrictions now. But we wasn't talking about it when Jordan and the rest of them dudes was playing 82 games, 30-something minutes a night.
I agree with you, but nowadays
I don't care nothing about the minutes. I don't care nothing about the minutes.
Well,
I would never care. I don't care about the minutes. I don't care about referees. A referee never decides the game.
So last year, you don't think Brunson was burnt out by the playoffs?
No.
Wow. Okay.
Nope.
So playing 40 minutes back-to-back games as he did in some of those games, you don't think he was tired?
What game? What he averaged 40 in the playoffs? What game that says he got burnt out outside of him breaking his hand?
But down the
stretch, he broke his hand. Broke his hand.
Well,
he broke his shooting hand.
No, listen.
I mean, there's nothing that says he averaged 40 in the playoffs. There's nothing that says by him playing the minutes that he wore down in the playoffs. No. If anything, he got better in the playoffs. So
you'd rather see Towns play 40 minutes a game? From there,
no, I don't rather see Towns play 40 minutes a game. I'd rather see the game being coached the way how the game dictates for you to coach the game. That's what I'd rather see. That's how I look at the game. So coach the game and play the game how the game tells you that the game should be played. So if that particular game requires for these guys to play 40 minutes, then that particular game requires for them, because it's the reason why these guys are playing 40 minutes, right? I always say this about Obi Toppin. Catchers to go back for Obi Toppin. Yo, you don't know what you're talking about, L? What is Obi Toppin doing right now for the Pacers? He's still the same player he was on the New York Knicks. He's still coming off the bench. He's still the same exact player that y'all was talking about. Y'all was defending. He went to another team doing the same exact thing. Don't defend. Don't rebound. So you gotta give me a reason on why I'm going to keep Cat on the bench. Give me a reason why I'm going to keep Brunson. At times, Cameron Payne gives some reasons on why he keeps Brunson on the bench. Huck Porty gives some reasons on why he keeps Cat on the bench. So I think it's a lot to do with how the game is being played from each individual game on how you coach the game. So give me a reason on why I leave you out there. That's why I said about the bench. I need more from the bench. Hopefully when Mitch comes back, it'll even things out. Then we won't see these heavy minutes from the guys. But they guys is out there playing. That's their job. I need y'all out there to play. These dudes on the bench ain't doing nothing.
They ain't doing nothing.
I mean, they playing. I don't want to shoot the bench down because I like the guys. I just think they don't do it as a group. And I think that's our biggest problem. You know what I'm saying? Like, when they come in the game, it's not like a group, like boom, like the headbangers. They ain't coming in the game. It's coming in the game as Cameron Payne get off on this game, Deuce McBride get off on that game. You know what I mean? Then there'll be a game with pressure to get off. It's never all of them as a unit. And I think that's what we're missing with the team.
Okay. Well, man, I want to thank you guys for tapping in worldwide. Oh, my brother, as always, man, thanks for the support. Man, D, always, bro. We'll be back on. I'll be back on here tomorrow night doing the Knicks and the 76ers watch along, man. Like I said, Knicks that's their get right game. Got to get it right tomorrow night. You know what I'm saying? So got to get this win tomorrow. Mitch Robinson may make his season debut tomorrow. We will see. I don't know how true that is, but we'll see. But I think he will make a season debut. And if he do play, going to play on a minutes restriction. Like I said, 7-10 minutes. I'm cool with that. You know what I'm saying? Just to get some little rust off, get some game shape and stuff. He's going to be huffing and puffing. You know what I'm saying? Because guess what? It's a full, full court. You know what I'm saying? So we'll be back here tomorrow, man. I want to shout out the chat, Big Pass Sports Talk, D-Dan Shelton, RC the Hawkeye. Also, Neymar, thanks for coming through, man. Leaf Diggy, as always, man. Thanks for coming through. And like I said, man, we'll see you guys tomorrow. Like I said, Knicks versus the 76ers, man. Before on your way out, man, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button to the Man-Cave podcast as well as the Aboriginal Sports Network, man. Thank you, D, and also thank you, Worldwide L, for coming through and talking Knicks basketball. Until next time, I'll see you guys tomorrow night, man. Peace.
Peace.
Who's got the rocket launcher? I say we blow it up. Now fire that thing.
For the city of sports, playing with a giant Nick. With my man S. God.
That's him.
You feel the vibe?
That's me.
We going live.
That's us.
That like button shared, you been subscribed.
Stadium.
That MetLife, Big Blue, home of the parade.
Yeah.
That turnpike, you can see that's where the game's played. NFL one day, then it's the NBA. Madison Square Garden, that's where the Knicks play. This that NY Logan, no it don't get broken. Legalize, mean this shit smoking. I'm on topic, dropping another episode. The game winner, trade, maybe a field goal. Everybody right now doing the wave. You tuned in the show called The-Man-Cave. I see the chat, they always doing their thing. Big views, 85 extreme. The game's on, you rush and please. Stay calm, you on the road and chill. Do the watch along, the show's on. The host, you know it's S-God. It's no telling the panel filled with guest stars. You're now rocking with the voice, you know who it is. It's your boy J Boogie. You're now rocking with my man S-God. I support him to the fullest, you heard? My man Mike Blaze. This is Alter Production. What that mean? We about to alter everything that's playing. Tune in. My man S.God. Support the show. Subscribe, share it. Most importantly, hit that like button.